Hi there, my name is FixFox, and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is going to be another fantastic stream here. I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to do these videos. Remember, everything that we stream here, we are also going to post later on YouTube. So if I get to catch you in stream, that's fantastic. And if I get to catch you later, that is just fine for me too. However I get to interact with you, that's what I like to do. This is going to be Vikings. And Vikings is a map that is going to be a 5-player. It's going to be a medium-sized map. This is going to be from the Secession Wars. And so it came with the base game, and it's going to be a total death match with 5 players, medium map. I think that this is going to be pretty exciting. The scenario description reads as such: barbarians from the north threaten all of civilization. Can you repel the hordes? We will see. Hard map difficulty. I've been told that this is a hard map. We're going to have to dive in a little bit more to find out what to expect from there. And instantly I see actually some interesting things. We're going to put this on impossible difficulty as always. But this is going to be us as the red player. We cannot be any of these other players. And very interesting, usually when people create a map, they have you as the player in this first slot. That means that you get to go first. In this case, I'm pretty sure that this indicates to us that green is going to get to go first every single time. That is rather intriguing. But more than that, green barbarian, yellow barbarian, orange barbarian, and purple barbarian. That is insane. Are these going to be the Viking Raiders? I simply must assume that they shall be. So with all that being said, folks, I think it's time that we dive right in. Future FixFox here. 2 things. The chat overlay is not working appropriately. It will return in the next video. And for some reason, the zoom is very, very off in this video until the 40-minute mark, at which time I get it fixed. That means that you're going to be missing the mini-map and the right-hand panel again until the 40-minute mark. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled programming. And it looks like having us on random, we have spawned with 3 starting towns, 2 towns and 1 castle. These 2 towns being Roscommon and Dragadoon. That's pretty interesting to me because they start off as barbarian towns. They can be upgraded into castles, both of them. But then we start off here as warlocks. Is that going to be good or is that going to be bad? First off, I'm thinking to myself that as a warlock, there's a lot of value knowing that I'm going to have access to the best creature in the game if I can get my castle upgraded fully. Against some barbarian raiders, that might be very useful. However, potentially you had some strategy where if you'd went barbarians, you could have had 3 barbarian castles and just pumped out tons of the same type of troops. We are going to see if this is a good decision, bad decision. It wasn't really a decision, it was just kind of the AI doing what the AI does. We start off with the Falagar, the Warlock. That's going to be a level 1 Warlock, 0 attack, 0 defense, 3 spell power, and 2 knowledge. That's going to be 10 centaurs here. We've got the basic wisdom and the advanced scouting, and the 1 curse that we always start off with. I'm guessing that that means that we do not start off with a mage guild here in our primary castle of Atlantium. A centaur cave, and then not much else, as you can see here. We're going to be building this up from scratch. Always a challenge when we're on impossible difficulty. So really, I think that this is probably going to be a time, knowing that we start off with centaurs and no gargoyles, that we're just going to have to hit this map as hard as we possibly can. One possible thing, I didn't look at this map before we started playing, but I did start to think to myself, you know, what do we end up doing if we're going to be up against multiple barbarian raiders? Maybe, just maybe, what we can do is not go for a warlock hero, especially if resources are scant. Perhaps we go for a knight hero, perhaps we go for a barbarian hero. Unfortunately, we don't really have the opportunity here. It looks like it's all spellcasters so far. But if barbarians are countered by defense, then maybe a knight hero would be the very, very best for us. Even though we lose some of that magical advantage, I could see a knight being pretty darn useful for us. As it stands, let's just head off. I can't get the second treasure chest, and so I'm going to guess that it's best for me to just pick up my ore. Maybe the treasure chest actually will help me get the sprites from the Tree City. We're gonna take 1,000 gold here. Pop in on these sprites. Some of the sprites living in the Tree City are willing to join your army for a price. Do you want to recruit the sprites? I do. We're gonna take as many as we can. 20. Is 20 enough to defeat lots of centaurs? Actually, I don't think so. Crazy enough. Crazy enough. So I see 1 more treasure chest over here. We're gonna head south. We're gonna hope that we get lucky, pick up enough treasure to get another hero on day 2, and we're just gonna go from there. That's going to end day 1, 1,000 experience. We're going to take the basic wisdom here on Falagar. Again, no gold. It's going to be all, or no experience, all gold right now. That's going to get us up to 3k gold. That's going to for sure get us this second hero. And I might as well take Alamar, I think. the scouting, the wisdom, and he's got the gargoyles. Those can be excellent scouting creatures. We're going to take the gargoyles for now. And with the troops left over, rather than take the centaurs, I think that I'd rather put my money into sprites, specifically because we know that these two fights are coming up here in this way. There you go again, always starting a game while I begin brushing my teeth for bed and go to bed. Glad to see you're not playing as Necros though. Steeson, how are you doing, sir? I apologize for being so very late. I've been trying to get these playthroughs going a little bit earlier, and today it just was not meant to be. So very nice to see you, and very nice to know that I have your approval, even though these are not your favorite sorceress troops. Very happy to know that you still approve. So thank you very much, sir. We're going to take the gold here again, in large part because of what we'd already talked about. Knowing that we've now got our ore and our sawmill pretty much online, I think that we're going to plan on rolling through these centaurs and these halflings in short order. Gems, we'll pick those up when we can. That'll be useful for minotaurs. If this was a sulfur mine, I would be feeling really good. But since it's gems, it'll work. It'll be fine. 2,500 gold. I think it's a great idea to pick up the crypt. Knowing that we've got our ore, I don't think that there's any problem with picking up the crypt at this time. There's nothing else I'd rather have. And the other decision is maybe to try and build up one of these barbarian castles. It's going to take 20 wood, 20 ore. That's still going to be a long ways away. We will plan on getting that at some point. Just right now, it doesn't make the most sense. I think I can be pretty tricky. 10 centaurs are going to do so much ranged damage to these peasants. Do I wish for peasants to join me? I never thought I would have this problem. Anytime troops want to join you in the first 3 days, you say yes, right? Because more troops are better than no troops. Do I actually want the 2-speed peasants, the most useless troop in the game? I'm going to be close enough to my castle that I can put them in my castle. I'm going to accept peasants. I can't believe that I'm going to accept the peasants. You go bring those sprites with you and you shall not lose any of my Sorcy troops. Don't let them hit my girls, bro. You got it. You got it. I will make sure that they stay nice and protected. Steel skin it is. That's going to be very good for the defense. Looks like Alamar is going to probably pick up the rest of these sprites and then just head on over this gem mine. This is going to be an interesting fight with this horde of goblins. We're going to have to bust out of containment here in just 1 second. I don't really care if it's Thalagar or if it's Alamar that ends up going through centaurs and halflings, but I think we're going to clear all this out and then head on up. I don't think that maybe there's a good reason for a fast start. Then again, maybe not. We will see. We will see. Because I don't think I'm going to get the maze immediately, I'm probably going to get the next turn, and for that reason I might as well get the statue for the extra 250 gold per day now. And since Thalagar's already gone in this direction, we're going to have him be the one to hold on to these troops. He's just higher leveled at the moment. We're going to split the sprites into 3 stacks, and I know that that's not an even split at all, but we're still going to go for it. And then if these centaurs want to join us, we're actually going to have room in the army because we do have 1 full stack of centaurs. And they do not wish to join us. That's okay. Let's see if we can fight this fight better. We do have 1 curse. We could potentially curse 1 single centaur stack. We will see how useful that is. And so the gargoyles are going to slot in right there. Let's curse this stack here and then begin the offensive. Steeson, I just told you that I have to protect your Sork gals, and I'm already doing a terrible job, and I do apologize for that. 5 to 8. I can kill 5 to 8 here. I think I shall. Even though they're cursed, I just didn't do my steps right. That is going to be the very best thing for me. We can't kill all of the centaurs here. 1 sprite does go down. You know, I'm not in the habit of making promises I can't keep, and I feel like I've just done that. I feel like I just promised. Even though I didn't actually use the words I promised, I feel like I just promised and then let Steeson down. So, crying in my pillow now? Yeah. I'm so sorry, my bad. Should have done better. I'll do better next time. 1,000 experience here. I think I'm actually going to take the ballistics. I've talked in times past how if you don't think that you're going to have many opportunities to get great troops later, you might as well get some troops now. And really, I think that the spells, the chance of getting a 4th level spell anytime soon feels pretty low. And so in that same vein of thought, we're going to take the ballistics because it could be useful sooner rather than later. I'm still going to take the gold here. I know that I'm taking all gold and no experience. I love taking experience. Levels are huge. They're massive. But it's really not my priority, I don't think. Witch Doctor's Hut, I think we're actually going to ignore these halflings. Basically, the halflings are guarding a +1. I'm going to take some losses, and I've only got a sealskin. Is one extra knowledge at this time going to help me? I don't actually think so. I think that we need to gear up for this big fight in just one moment. And if we work in tandem here with Alamar, who's going to pick up these griffins immediately, we should have Alamar be able to rush over here in 1 second. Falagar is going to sit just outside of these goblins, prepare himself for battle, and then we will head off into this kind of bigger unknown swarm of peasants. Man, if we got a huge stack of peasants, I'm not really thrilled about that, but it could be useful. It could be useful. Choice here. I can get the maze tomorrow. That'll be a day 6 maze. I'm for sure going to get the maze this week. Those Minotaur troops are just too good. And because I'm going to need to purchase lots of things, I might as well get the well now. And then that's going to help me take the rest of these troops here. Let me think. There's going to be plenty of treasure just out here, so I can get my troops in the castle now. There will be time to get everything I need and have plenty of gold. Purchasing these troops is not going to ruin my chance at getting the Minotaurs. If it would, I would definitely rather have the Minotaurs later, but I think that we're going to be okay. Once again, shall we split the sprites or the gargoyles? The gargoyles can take a hit much better, and so for that reason, we're going to split the gargoyles. I think that that's going to be best for us. The one sprite's going to go here on Alamar, but he's going to stay near the front because he can help. After we break through here, he can go left, he can go right, he can make sure that we are most effective with our turns. And folks, let's fight this horde of goblins. I don't love this fight, but this is anywhere between 50 to 100 goblins. It's a must win. Let's just avoid losing that one sprite for Steeson. For and on behalf of Steeson. 22 of the centaurs are going to absolutely obliterate these goblins as they attempt to come down this avenue. And notice how they're all kind of keying in on these sprites. These goblins want these sprites more than anything else, and I might be able to use that in just 1 second to my advantage. Goblins here. I'm going to kill this closest stack. And here. Just knowing where the goblins are going to come, that helps me plan out my fight a little bit better. And now we're going to collapse upon these enemies. No problems. As I'm talking, I know I'm making it sound, no, one sprite. I know I'm making it sound like it's a bigger deal than it is, but I mean, every time you can save one troop early on, hey, we've got Viking raiders coming in hot. We've got to do everything we can to make sure that we've got the best troops, the most correct army compositions. This is very important, and so we're going to be on our game, doing the very best we can. Rather than pick up the +1, I think I want to clear out gold. I think I want to just take on these peasants now before another week hits. They will grow in size if I don't. So we've got plenty of gems because of the gem mine outside. And then we are still looking for our sulfur. We have at this time 1 sawmill, 1 ore mine, 1 gem mine. We're missing crystal, sulfur, and mercury. And I'd love a gold mine, but alas, that might be too far away. It is worth noting that we're getting 250 gold a day from both of these towns here at Dragodoon and here at Roscommon. I'd love to see us pick up some castles there. If for no other reason, then that is an extra 750 gold per day. Likelihood feels kind of low at the moment, but we will wait and see on that. We are going to wait to look at any other purchases. If we wait just 2 days, actually, if we pick up the marketplace now, I know that we have the chance of getting the dungeon. If we pick up the marketplace now, we could potentially leave tomorrow with the Minotaur Kings, and that'll save us the trouble from having to upgrade them. And so this gold right here might be pretty darn important. Any plans on playing freshly made custom maps straight from FHeroes2 editor? I have someone just for you. I have some just ready for you when it's ready. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am so excited to play the community's creations. Some of the very best maps, if you think about it, are strictly from maybe not just the FHeroes2 fan base, but also all of the maps from Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold. Those originally started out as just fan-made maps that were so good that the developers were like, oh my gosh, we have to include these. And so I think that there's a fantastic community. There's many wonderful, proven map makers. I'm very excited to see what people come up with. So to answer your question, that was a long answer to a short question. The answer is yes. Major event, purple player has been vanquished. Is this normal? Folks, is this normal? Purple player has been vanquished before day 1 of week 2? That seems interesting to me. Maybe there's one faction. Maybe the red faction is this big group of Vikings and they are slowly going to take out all these other factions on their way to me. Maybe purple is just a small player in the game, but I thought that maybe there would be me against 4 other enemies who are all barbarians and just very scary. Maybe not. Maybe not. What to expect out of this map, I still do not know. So a little bit concerned. This demon cave, I've walked towards it. I'm pretty sure I can beat the Guardians. I say pretty sure, but then again, I do have some opportunities here where I can resupply. And so it's not worth it to me just to find out. Let's defeat the enemies we can defeat, and then we'll go from there. I do want to check though real quick. I do not have a knight hero. I really think that strategy of having a might-based hero actually could be super useful. I just don't have the means to make that happen at the moment. And that's highly concerning. Highly concerning. We're not going to need a whole lot of wood for some of these other things. We're going to need wood for the dungeon. We'll get that in a couple of turns. I'm wondering if I should trade 20 wood for 1 gem. I think so. I think so. Getting the Minotaur Kings out on the map is going to be very important. And so that's a huge loss there. But that's Minotaur Kings right now. We're going to pick up all of them, and we may not have much gold left over. 790 gold to go. Yeah, that's not much, but we're going to invest that in these centaurs. And so we are going to head out at this time. Good thing we picked up treasure, and more treasure so far. Falagar is, again, going to ignore this. We might pick up this goblin hut on the way back, even if they are just... Even if they're troops that can just get in the way of some earth elementals, I think that those 24 goblins are going to serve their purpose well. So we're gonna fight this fight here. I'm going to put the goblins closest to the centaurs. The entrance to the cave is dark, and a foul, sulfurous smell issues from the cave's mouth. Will you enter? Yes, I will. You find a powerful and grotesque demon in the cave. Today it rasps. You will fight and surely die, but I will give you a choice of deaths. How very kind. I appreciate that. You may fight me, or you may fight my servants. Do you prefer to fight my servants? Yes, I do. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit tougher than I thought it would be, actually. I didn't think it would be that many losses. So long as the goblins take the absolute brunt of this offensive, I'll be feeling pretty good. We're going to have some cover fire here. We can't kill one full earth elemental with these centaurs, and they are 3-speed creatures. It's going to be 3-4 turns down the battlefield. But again, goblins are going to go first. Oh, we have the negative morale. That's definitely part of it. I did not anticipate that. I should have, but I did not anticipate that. So that's a little bit concerning. So that means that we're actually going to wait on any spells because I want to make sure that my spells work the very, very best for me. Centaurs do get to go again. Let's take out one of these earth elementals. Goblins are out of range. We're going to skip on their turn now. Skip in here. And I think that we're ready to pounce. I think that the gargoyles... 17 to 25 damage. Actually, they're not nearly as tough as I thought they were. Huh. So knowing that their damage isn't going to be wasted, let's actually steel skin the gargoyles. They're going to take the retaliation here and maybe even here. We will see. 32 hit points. We could kill one here. We could maybe kill one here. I'm really struggling with this damage. There's a chance I could kill this guy, but it's very, very low. We're going to attack here, spread the damage around. That's 19 damage. Ultimately, it looks like that was a good decision. And because of this terrain, this earth elemental over here is not going to be able to get into this fight. So we're going to kill this earth elemental there. I'm anticipating that he's going to go 1-2 and not 1-2. If he goes the other way, we're in trouble, but I think he's going to go in this direction. We're going to skip on the griffins. Yep, gargoyles are taking the hits, and I'm just fine with that. Okay, and the gargoyles who I did steel skin do take the damage there, and that's mostly okay. 8 hit points left here, 31 hit points here. These troops are going to collapse here, and so let's kill where we can. Lost some damage there. 38 hit points to go. Let's focus where we don't already have some retaliation. The sprites are going to do so much damage, and then wow, still 50 hit points to go, huh? Earth elementals are tough. Okay, 3 sprites go down. 1 more gargoyle goes down to 8. 2 there, 6 here. Let's attack. And then the goblins are going to take this retaliation for us. 15 hit points, 21 hit points. Goblins are going to take the retaliation, and the griffins are going to slot into here. The sprites are going to take 1 step back, just so that way they don't have to worry too much. The multiplier map, Hellgate, is the only that only shows up in the scenario map menu. When you go to Hot Seat Multiplayer 2 players, it's a jaw-dropping, amazing fan-made map that went into the Gold Edition. You can play it by changing its specs, so you can play it as a single player with a co-op rather than with another human player. It's so cool to see how well the FHeroes2 AI friend fares on his part of the map. Yeah, I like what you're talking about. I think that I've seen some of the discussion that you've brought up for the FHeroes2 community, talking about that map in particular. And I love that you found the way around having to have a friend play with you and do Hot Seat, because it is a map that you cannot play unless you have 2 players. Now, you could always play 2 players. You could play both players and play at Hot Seat, but this way you can have an AI that will do the dirty work for you. And I really do like that. That's just a cool, nifty thing that you can manage. So I like everything that I'm hearing. And I like that, again, you found a way around having one friend, because sometimes, hey man, I just want to play Heroes by myself. My friend, I have to schedule it. I have to say, hey, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. We're getting a group together. It's going to be a one shot. It's going to be, 3 weeks in and out. Come on. And it just feels bad when everybody's got conflicting schedules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We're in good space here. I'm going to let the Griffins take this damage here. And so, yeah, getting around that. I think that you've done a good job of getting around that, and I'm glad that you're sharing that with other people. I've never actually played the map. When you say that it's mind-blowing, when you say it's just like that good, like, can you tell me more about what makes it good? Because I'm always interested in what makes a map good. Because I think that everybody has different opinions, and that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Like, that makes me happy that there's so many things that go into whether a map is good or bad. And so I'm interested to know, what does Steeson think makes Hell's Gate a good map? I'm very interested to know. We're going to pick up this, not the waterfall, not now, maybe later. We're going to wait. We're going to wait for this dungeon. That's really my main goal. And we're going to hope that we find one single unit of wood, just so we can pick that up one day sooner. Holding over all of these troops. We got rid of the gargoyles, and so, we got rid of the goblins, and so we're feeling pretty good about our morale at this time. And Alamar's going to go up this way and start scouting. Wonder if your version of the Broken Alliance will be a 3v3 deal. You know what? I think that you're referencing the Broken Alliance map that I'm recreating in the FHeroes2 map editor. And I'm going to try and keep it the exact same, but the nice thing is that at that point it'll be available for everyone. Taking the pathfinding there for that 1,000 experience. And so that way, if people want to edit the map, if they have just the base template, then they can take that map and then make it a 3v3. They can take that map and add some balance changes that they think are interesting. It's just me trying to provide a basic service for anybody else that might be interested in the map, but doesn't want to take the time to painstakingly recreate it piece by piece, moment by moment. We're going to fight these dwarves. This True Compass of Mobility is one of my all-time favorite artifacts. I cannot tell you how excited I am to see this artifact, and no amount of dwarves is going to keep me from it. I say that, and then of course if there was a swarm of dwarves, I would probably choose not to fight this fight. Yeah. As you can tell, I think that everybody knows that Fixed Fox is occasionally prone to hyperbole. And I say, oh, no amount. Well, there is absolutely a certain amount that would cause me some pause. This is not going to be it, though. So this terrain is pretty nice, by the way. Notice that the battle dwarves were going in this direction. By using the terrain and having the 2 hex griffins slot this off, there is a way for the AI to get to the centaurs unencumbered, and they decide to take that. Happy to see that, there was a time where I said, well, I don't really want to cheese the AI. I don't really feel like this is cheesing the AI. It's just taking advantage of the knowledge that I have. And the knowledge is that I don't have to take more damage than I ought to. And that's fine. I don't think I was going to take much damage anyway, but just in case. These Minotaur Kings are actually going to help us clear out so much stuff with so little threat to us. It feels terrific to have these fantastic creatures. Leprechaun offers you a True Compass of Mobility, small price of 2,500 gold, 3 ore. If it was any other artifact, I might be balking at this, but because this is one of my favorites, I'm absolutely going to take this with no questions and no sadness at all. Now here's a thing for you. Do we head out this direction or do we head south? I think that I'm going to need another hero. I think I probably needed another hero a moment ago, but I waited for one reason or another. If this is a knight available here, I'm going to be sad. I really think a knight makes a lot of sense on this map. Based off the fact that Falagar is level 4, but that there's a free 1,000 experience here. I think that we're going to do a major pivot. We're going to make Maximus the Knight be our primary hero moving forward. Fix Fox. Why would you do that? I think that the defense is going to potentially counter the offensive capabilities of some of these other creatures, some of these other enemies that we might be coming up against. And for that reason, I think that Maximus is just going to be somebody that I want to invest in. You can always pick up a first, second, or a first or second level spell that will make your life go so much better. You can't always easily get high defense. You can't always easily get high attack skill. So happy to catch you streaming. Hey Zens, how you doing, sir? Nice to see you there. Zen's, of course, an FHeroes2 member. We were just talking about some of the opportunities that we're going to have to play some of these FHeroes2 community maps that we hope are going to be coming out sooner and sooner and faster. I think that anybody that thought that we would immediately get maps just unfortunately needs to understand that maps done well take a good long time to make, and you should not consider rushing something like a fantastic map. Doing well, busy times. Busy's not too bad. I'm happy to hear that hopefully you're busy with good things and things that you enjoy. That's my hope. Okay, so we just picked up View Towns on Falagar as a 3rd level spell from the Shrine. I'm very happy to see that. Look at this. We've got, it looks like 2 orange castles to our immediate east. We've got 1 yellow castle, 1 yellow town to the northeast, and then green to our immediate north position. And then what happened to purple? What happened to purple? I've played some great community maps so far. Yeah. I think Aventera by Arcane Hymn, I did get the opportunity to play that one. I've really enjoyed that one. Any others that you would recommend that people give a shot, Zens? Alamar's going to continue to head on here. Another gazebo. And we're starting to get to the point where I'm looking at these treasure chests and saying that if I'm going to pivot into Maximus, I actually want him to have all of this. I'm not going to pick all these up. I'm going to let my other heroes do some scouting. I'm going to try and see what else I can find. Maximus is going to take the time to soak up all this experience that he possibly can. That's +1 attack skill. We're going to head him north. And then treasure. We're actually gonna head Falagar up, so Falagar can be more of a scout as he drops off those troops. We do have enough for the dungeon now, and then on to day 6 in week 2. I'm not doing this map as precisely as I would like. I think that there's a lot to be desired as far as how efficiently I'm logistically moving my troops, but I do think that it's more of an investment, so that way we can get Maximus online more than anything. So Hellgate has an amazing deep lore that feels real inside of the realm of the map that you are exploring. As you understand it, you're breaching the lands of Hell before the actual gate. There's a sea dividing your world and Hell, which lies beyond the map's borders. You could say this map could be seen as a teaser for the Inferno faction of Heroes 3. That's fantastic. I'm thrilled to hear that. Zens, thanks for stopping in. It was very nice to have you on. Appreciate it. Go have a wonderful night. Yeah, Steeson, I love the idea of that. That just sounds so good to me. There's really something to be said about that kind of engaging thematic. And so it sounds like that map does a tremendous job of that. I'm interested to play it just as soon as I can. We will see what the time may bring for us, but we are going to do the best we can to play as many of these Heroes of Might and Magic maps as we can. In fact, I am a little bit ashamed that I haven't played every single map, but for the reasons I've mentioned prior, you know, we all have our favorites, and I ended up using my favorites an awful lot. Oh, we're going to pick up this gazebo here for the 1,000 experience. We're going to take the estates. The Warlock faction is so expensive. Gold is never bad, even on a primary hero. I think that's going to be useful for us. I know that we came up here for this treasure chest. We're going to take the gold, though. That ratio just feels not ideal to me. Lots of ogres. With no spell book, I don't know about lots of ogres. Not with this army. The Minotaur Kings are tough, but we're talking 20 to 50 ogres and probably 1 stack of overlords. We got more stuff we can do over here. Let's continue to explore. Rathmont is going to head directly east, and he's not going to pick up a free soul for mine. That's okay. Alamar is going to see what else he can pick up for free here, though. Might as well have him grab the Witch Doctor's hut, and it looks like he's going to be waiting to break into this area in short order, and Rathmont's going to sit right here so that Maximus can grab treasure and then head on over and free this area up. Maybe I'll pick up the treasure chest. I don't think it's going to be that useful. I really don't think it's going to be that useful. Especially since we have plenty of gold. That's not the problem. Let's just move on with the waterfall and go on to a brand new week. That's going to be month 1, week 2, day 7. And we do see for the first time an enemy hero. If I remember right, that was green in the upper left as we see it's week of the tortoise. Yeah, green, JoJosh. So, pack of war trolls, several ogre lords, which is a big upgrade. Big upgrade. Several wolves, horde of goblins, pack of orcs. Interesting. I hoped that we would have more time than this actually to get many troops. It's possible that we didn't have time to pivot into a new knight hero. We probably needed to get them online in week 1. It's possible that we've maybe cost ourselves significant time that we needed to get caught up. Possible. We will see. Minotaur Kings are going to head up. We're just going to collapse on the Centaurs. Fix Fox, are you really fighting this fight for one single gargoyle? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're worth the troops every time. And if you can take no losses, you might as well. I think that this stack of rogues can reach. So we better attack here, attack here. It looks like 2 are going to get a shot off on the sprites. 1 sprite is much better loss than 1 gargoyle. Happy to see the logistics. So now we've got Maximus with the basic logistics and the true compass mobility. If we have any problems, we can always go over to Falagar, who's also got the logistics and the pathfinding. If there's some really bad terrain, it's nice to know that we have another hero that can potentially be excellent for us. Picking up our sulfur, a welcome surprise, a welcome addition for our troops, for our warlock faction. And we're going to have Rathmont figure out what some of these other things are as we go on through here. Summon Boat, not a bad spell to have. I don't know if there's going to be water on this map or not. This is a free 1,000 gold, by the way, with this artifact. Hi, The Real Fix Fox. Good evening to you. Are you playing the campaign? No, Chris, this is going to be the Vikings scenario. This is a medium-sized map from the original Heroes Might and Magic 2. This came with the Secession Wars, not with the Price of Loyalty. But this is medium-sized, 5-player. We're on month 1, week 3, day 1, and we've already got the purple player that's been put out, which is pretty incredible to me. Yeah, everybody's supposed to be barbarians, and we're the only warlocks here. I suppose that these barbarians are all the Viking raiders. So very interesting to see. Hey, Fix. Hey, chat. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hey, how you doing, Rise to Ruin? Good seeing you there, sir. Good to see everybody here. Appreciate everybody's time. Is everybody doing well? Is everybody having a good time? Okay, cool. Yep. As I'm heading out here, I see gargoyles. I see halfling holes. That could be very useful. Very useful indeed. And then Alamar. I want to stay away from JoJosh. He could break through here at any point. We're going to assume that he will. And we're going to send Alamar back so we can maybe do a resupply. It's day 1 already. And with 4 heroes, you're going to have a little bit of extra heroes. You're going to have more heroes than you need. And so trying to be effective with your troops could be a little bit difficult if you're not careful. Hell's Gate gave me an idea to create a hypnotized-centered map with loads of environmental cues about the deeper meaning to the whole story that plays out in the scenario. A snowy well on a sandy beach. What could this mean? Lava next to a swampy town with grassland trees. What's going on here? Wonder what this decent guy means by this. By the way, JoJosh is yourself, right? Maybe. And so we've got JoJosh, who is coming immediately for Dragadoon. Here's the deal. Dragadoon is this little town that doesn't have much to it. I would like to keep 30 goblins away. Is it worth 1,200 gold to not have to defeat these goblins later? I think so. It's basically throwing away the gold, though. 1,200 gold. And it gives my opponent experience when they defeat these goblins. If I have one single goblin in here and they defeat that, they get 500 experience for defeating a town. And the little bit of experience for the goblin. I think that we just forego Dragadoon, and I think that we actually give over goblins to JoJosh, who already has a horde. So not thrilled with this prospect. I think it's the very best thing for me, though. This could be a bad move here. Maximus does have the logistics. He does have some of these other wonderful things like this true compass of mobility. We're going to be fast. but I'm very well aware that I could be putting myself into this corner where JoJosh can corner me in, and I could see that being pretty bad. I could see that being pretty bad if we're not careful. I love ballistics. I like archery. What's the likelihood that we're going to use archery very heavily? We've seen one halfling hold to the very far east. We know that our barbarian towns here, we could make use of orcs and trolls, and we do have the centaurs. Is basic archery that good? I think so. I think that we saw that there was one. Did we see one wizard? Did we see one wizard castle on the map? If there's one single wizard castle on the map, basic archery is worth it. I'm going to assume that there was one, and then we're going to double check now. I wish I could have cast this spell as I was making that decision, but unfortunately we can't. Okay, so we've got barbarian, barbarian, barbarian. That looks to be necro, knight. I think that this is the one I thought was wizard. Ah, wizard in the bottom right. We want to go here. We want to go to the bottom right as soon as possible. We've had a gem mine since day 2. I want to get this castle. I do not want them to get to Titans. If they get to Titans, we are immediately at a disadvantage. Even giving up this whole northern area, that's not going to be nearly as important as taking over this area. Since we only just got sulfur, we are much further away from lots of other troops than we otherwise would be. The dragons are just going to be pretty far away. So we're going to have to head on in this direction and do our very best with what we have. We have multiple flyers. These rangers should not be that tough. We already know this is a summoned boat, but we do not have a single spell book here for Maximus. We're going to leave while Rathmont takes the time to clear out this artifact. You've come upon a Spartan quarters of a retired soldier. The soldier tells you he is willing to pass the endless sack of gold to the first true leader he meets. I mean, I'm not a hero, but my name is Maximus and I've got advanced leadership. Does that work? And I think that the retired Spartan is going to say, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Wow, Rathmont can't do anything here. Through the clearing, we observe the ancient artifact. It's guarded by a nearby paladin. Do we want to fight the paladin? Not with Rathmont, that's for sure. So we're going to escape. Alamar's going to continue on so we can do the resupply. Is it just me, or is the sidebar with map heroes castles not visible or cut off? This is why I need you guys. Oh my gosh. Folks, I can fix that. My word. Yep, it's been broken this whole time. This whole time it's been broken. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I would not have noticed until much later, and I would have been even more sad than I am now. So I apologize. For the first 40 minutes of this game, we've been missing a lot of vital information, including our mini-map and the list of castles and towns. So thank you. No, thank you, Rise to Ruin. I appreciate that. So we're going to pick up this artifact and then the other one. Fox fixed it. I did. The little leprechaun dances gleefully around a magic sack. Seeing you approach, he stops in mid-stride. The little man screams and stamps his foot ferociously, vanishing into thin air. Remembering the old leprechaun saying, finders keepers, you grab the sack and leave. That's an extra 1,000 gold per day. And if we did not have Maximus, we would not get this extra 1,000 gold per day, because you have to have the leadership. So that ended up being immediately a very good decision on our part. We're going to save the gargoyles. We don't need to lose them, so we just won't. We'll just refuse to lose them. Backing off here and sending the Minotaurs up. So everybody else can literally wait, and Minotaur Kings have it with no problem. And we'll take the ammo cart. So we have the archery and we have the ability to just keep firing arrows. Now again, JoJosh is here. It may be... We're going to be able to get to... here next turn with Maximus. That's still going to be too far away to do a resupply unless we purchase another hero today. We've got 6,200 gold. We can do a relay from here to here, here to there. Is it worth it to be safe? 5 heroes, month 1, week 3, day 2. Is it worth it? We've got some pretty decent troops with Castor. I think that we're going to do that. It's gonna eat into the amount of troops that we can purchase this go around, but I'm gonna need the troops sooner rather than later, number 1. And number 2, I did just pick up an extra 1,000 gold per day, so I'm less loath to give up this gold here. We're gonna leave 8 griffins, the gargoyles, and the centaurs here on this castle for now, but we're still gonna have a pretty healthy resupply. And I suppose that Alomar can still do the long-term resupply in just 1 second. Play in Danish next time. I'd love to see you try and read stuff in Danish whilst not understanding a thing. But for now, I'm off to bed. It's 10 p.m. in Denmark. Steeson, I will consider playing Heroes of Might and Magic in another language. If anybody wants me to just play, just shut up and play, that's probably the best way that you could do that, is then I'm not going to be reading nearly so much as I am going to be playing. So it's possible. I know that's not what you're meaning there. I would love to give it a shot and to, you know, see how well I remember artifacts and see what we can do with that. No promises, but you have a very wonderful night, sir. Very wonderful night. Okay, Maximus is going to escape. We see another hero here, though. Phineas. Phineas is not that tough. And JoJosh is actually setting himself up for danger. He is setting himself up for a real challenge. I think that we're going to be able to beat this whole force once we get this resupply. We're going to go to right here, and we're going to assume that we can get up the road next turn from here, picking up the fountain. Well, we're going to pick up the +1 attack right now. I still think that we can make it here. No. We're going to be 2 tiles short, but that +1 attack feels okay. And if he wanders in this direction, which I think he ought to, then he should run right into a buzzsaw. So we're still going to get this good resupply. It's going to be fine. Not quite what I had in mind, but it's going to be fine. And so then Rathmod's going to be the second leg of the journey here for Alomar. So Alomar's just got to get to here. And in that way, our troops are going to move a tremendous amount of distance with very little cost to us. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. How they end up just picking themselves up by their bootstraps, I do not know. The sprites better be alive and well when I see the replay of this video. We will see. I will do my best. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so with that being said, I still would love to get more heroes out into this area. We do got to go through a pack of magi if we're going to get to this wizard castle here. I think we ought to do that sooner rather than later, but let's try and get the experience off of JoJosh. He's worth experience if nothing else. Let's see how closely he wanders towards me. Phineas runs, and he's wandered too close. Thalagar is going to go down. I can't stop it. We knew that he was more of a scout at this point, but we're going to have to have him run because he's got 4 levels on him. He's a level 4 warlock. He's got pathfinding, and if for no other reason than that, it's going to be useful. Okay, and I just realized I was a little bit scared. We almost didn't have the chance to run. This is going to be Atlas the Barbarian. 6 attack, 4 defense, 1 power, 1 knowledge. Pretty good Barbarian. Pretty good Barbarian. We have no offensive spells. There's nothing we can do here. As a parting shot, we're just going to curse the war trolls and then flee. Because I don't care about keeping the archers or not. So we will flee that battle. And so we'll have the opportunity before the end of this week. We are going to pick up that hero again. But for now, let's get the rest of these troops here. All of them except for the centaurs. I think I actually would have rather had all the centaurs and a few less gargoyles. So my haste might have cost me a little bit there. Here we go for this resupply. There's 1. Here's 2. And then centaur, gargoyle, Castor is going to drop this off. And all of a sudden, Maximus is looking pretty hefty. Let's make sure we put the Minotaur Kings up near the Centaurs. But I think that this is a fight that he can win with JoJosh, and I know he can reach. So let's have Castor. Let's see. We have to defeat troops to go in that direction. I think that Atlas is just going to have this area for now. Maybe he will defeat these Magi for us. Maybe. Let's back off. Keep everybody alive. And Maximus, it's time for you to shine, buddy. Rise and shine. So, big fight here. Pack of war trolls, several ogre lords, pack of wolves, a throng of the goblins, and a pack of these orcs. Still, I think that we've got this. The enemy has fled, 1500 experience. Let's see if we can do any better. And it looks like they didn't even take too much off the top. The Minotaur Kings looks like are probably going to take the majority of the damage here. Again, we don't have any spells because we don't have a spell book. So this is going to be just a straight up fight. JoJosh the Barbarian, 6 attack, 2 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge. And then Maximus the Knight, 5 attack, 4 defense. So we are the worst hero, but we definitely have the superior troops. And we're going to take a big chunk out of this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to stay away from these goblins. But we need to get the Minotaur Kings in to deal with these war trolls. Even if that means we take some damage here, I think so. The gargoyles are going to jump on the war trolls in just a second. even though we're going to take some damage from the Ogre Lords in retaliation. I think that the Minotaur Kings are going to... Oh, they're not. Minotaur Kings are going to take damage from 8 Ogre Lords because they're going to go here because of this terrain. The wolves are blocking us off from the trolls. With that being said, I think I'd actually rather... How many trolls can we kill? We can do 60, 290 damage. Is it likely that we're going to do 80 damage total this round? Because if not, any extra damage there is just wasted. I think I'd rather kill 3 to 5 wolves so the Minotaur Kings can deal with those trolls when they get the chance. When they get the chance. Yeah, so we're going to do that now. And that's actually really nice. If I'd known that we were going to do that to the war trolls, we would have actually not attacked there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We could kill all 13 of these orcs. It's going to be close. I'm guessing there's going to be 1 left over, 3 left over. And the Minotaur Kings don't take any damage. You're going for a full defensive maneuver. That is interesting. Did not expect that. Next turn, though, these Minotaur Kings are going to get up into these war trolls. And then these sprites right now are going to attack these Ogre Lords, do their free damage because there's no retaliation. And then they're going to kill these orcs on the retaliation. Excellent for us. We're going to leave the goblins alive. War trolls are dealt with. Let's deal with these goblins. If you can get the first hit on a huge stack of first level creatures like these goblins, you're not going to have to worry about them. You've taken out a lot of their damage. 1 Minotaur King goes down, but then they are much less concerning moving forward. I wonder what the war trolls are going to do here. They do stick on our gargoyles. We're down to 13 gargoyles. I think I'm okay with that. Let's deal with the rest of these goblins. Let's take out 1 whole stack of creature, if possible. We're trying to prevent the enemy from running. This is a thing that I've seen before, and I don't really like it. Sometimes you'll see the AI will choose not to attack a creature on its way to defending a ranged troop. I really don't like that decision, and I've seen it often enough that I don't know what the decision-making process is there, but I don't love it. I just don't love it. Not sure why it does that. Not sure. We're in a position where we've got to kill 4 war trolls soon because I think the enemy is about to run. If we back off with the Minotaur Kings, that might be enough to keep the enemy around for 1 more turn of combat. Let's just see it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe if I back the gargoyles off. I'm really just trying to make sure that they don't run. That's the one thing I'm trying to do. So far, it's cost us 1 griffin to try this maneuver. I think the 12 Minotaur Kings can kill, yeah, it can kill 2 of the trolls. If they don't run right here, we're going to be good. Okay, so it cost us 1 Minotaur King and 1 griffin, but we're going to keep this enemy from running. They should have run, they didn't. That was on them. That's not my mistake. But that difference is the cost in those troops. That's an extra 500 experience. And now whatever artifacts this hero has, we're going to take them. Finagling this looked a little bit weird, looked a little bit rough. Ultimately, it's going to be the best decision for us. Unfortunately, it looks like it's only going to be the Everhot Lava Rock that we pick up. A little bit sad there, but massive for the basic wisdom. The whole reason why you would prefer probably a Warlock over a Might-based hero, like a Knight, like a Barbarian, is because they have the ability to cast spells. In this instance, we have now mitigated that issue, and now Maximus is going to be able to cast whatever spells he feels so inclined to do. Excellent, thrilling. So, I think that we've already mentioned that as much as we like to go up in this direction, we really want to go for these Magi. Can we defeat Atlas? I think so. I think that we are still so tough. We took a couple of losses there. I think we're going to be just fine. And because you can just waltz right into Dragadoon, I think that we're going to allow these other heroes to head north while we head south. And we're going to meet the enemy head on. Yes, we're going to meet the enemy head on. Remember, we still need to purchase Falagar as soon as we possibly can. And remember, Phineas is still up to our immediate north. They took out the Arc Magi. They've just weakened themselves. I am going to pick up my +1 to defense. I'm going to come back for this Tree of Knowledge a little bit later because I know I'm going to be back at some point. We're going to come back. We're going to wait on the Tree of Knowledge. 2,000 gold, I don't want to spend that right now, but we will come back later. And it doesn't matter to me if it's Castor or somebody else. I think we're going to have Castor head on up and start looking at doing a little bit of this. Alamar's going to head back and just be ready. He's going to be ready to go for a new resupply on another day. And in fact, 17, we still have 17 troops here. we're going to be ready for one more resupply. That's what we're going to do. Is it worth creating a castle in that town to get more gold per turn? Absolutely. The issue is that because it's 20 wood and 20 ore, we're still pretty far away from that. It's probably going to be the next major purchase unless we're getting close enough to a green tower, which it looks like we're probably not going to be. It's the difference between 250 gold on a town versus 1,000 gold on a castle. So I'm looking forward to doing that pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be this town or this town, but one of these is probably going to go into a castle fairly quickly. I don't know which is going to be easier to defend. Probably this one because it's closer to our main castle. I'm thinking. We might not do it if we run into a wizard castle and have something big and nice over there. Yeah, wood and ore is always an issue. It seems to be, especially in this map, in large part because there's only the one sawmill and the one ore mine. And that makes it a little bit rough to move forward, especially in the early stages. Chris, yeah, you're right. Especially in the early stages, makes it definitely worse. Definitely more of a struggle. We're gonna have Castor go all the way up. Sometimes I don't like to go this close to an edge just in case an enemy pops out and gets me. I'm prepared to lose Castor if that's what it takes. Don't love it, but we'll do it just in case. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And so one more hero transfer. It looks like Rathmont didn't go as far as he should have. That's on me. And I'd actually rather prefer the Alamars as fast as possible. So we're gonna do this with Rathmont. Funny thing, recently I've had a lot of individuals have been watching my videos for the first time on YouTube, and I appreciate the comments so very, very much. And in a period of 2 days, I had 4 comments from people saying, hey, you know, if you had your fastest troop in your hero here, then that's what calculates the movement. And unfortunately, I had to type the same thing 4 times in a row. And basically what I said was, you're totally right. That's totally my mistake. Sometimes I get a little bit lazy with it. It's not that I don't know that mechanic, it's that I sometimes just get a little bit lazy. And that feels bad. I hate to tell people that I got lazy, but it does happen. It does happen. Whoa, Phineas just picked up a genie lamp. And so an extra couple of genies, that's a little bit concerning. We're still gonna be way far away from these troops. Castor is gonna immediately bug out. I'm thinking that the green hero here, Phineas, is gonna take this castle back, or this town back, before he does anything else. And if I can take out orange, we have a clear shot to the castle. I think that we're going to maybe forego some safety in order to do this. They just picked up a horde of those halflings. We've got this. Haha, you said the same thing during the last stream as well. I fully agree, though. There's a time for min-maxing. Other times it drains the fun cheesing it 100% of the time. Yeah, Rise to Ruin. I feel bad, though. You know, I feel bad because I should do it. Like, I should do it. Should. But I don't. And what's that make me? That makes me somebody that's just lazy, I guess. You're totally right, and I appreciate that, because we are here to have fun more than anything. We are not here to play extremely competitively. Quite frankly, we're here to just have a real nice time. Halflings are going to do more damage than these orc chieftains, so we're going to attack them. And really, as you can see, it matters. We just saw an instance there where it absolutely mattered. I could have probably not wasted a little bit of movement points getting heroes back and moving people from front to back. Is it fine? Is it ultimately going to be not too big of a deal? Yeah, it's not going to be that big of a deal. If I'm fighting for my very life, though, there's a part of me that knows that I should have done things a little bit differently. So we're going to use our ranged damage to defeat these ogres as much as possible. I don't want the griffins to take that retaliation damage. 9 orcs down to 6, and then shall I put the sprites into harm's way despite Steeson's plea? They're going to be the best troop to help me deal with these ogre lords. We don't have a slow, so next turn they are going to do an absolute wallop of damage onto these sprites. Do you want to lose probably 30 sprites? I don't think you do. I think you want to save the troops. I think you'd rather lose 2 to 3 of these gargoyles or these griffins. 2 to 3 griffins is just going to be more worth it, I think. Let's end the war trolls because they can be particularly tough if you're not careful. Gargoyles are going to wait because I don't want to, well, Griffins can take one step back and attack these ogre lords. I don't care about the damage from 2 orc chiefs. and that's going to give me the opportunity to have somebody else slot into this area. And we are quickly approaching the time where this battle is going to be over. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're too far away. We can kill maybe one here. Tell you what, let's do it this way. Is this slow going to wear off? Why do you have, hold on, your haste is going to last for 10 more turns? You've got a really nice artifact. You've got the Spellbinder's Hat or the Wizard's Hat, which increases the duration of your spells by a lot. And that actually is a little bit frustrating. Huh, I really want that artifact. I really want that artifact. I'm trying to make sure that the enemy doesn't run here. I can guarantee that they won't run if I kill these Orc Chiefs. But because the Ogre Lords are so fast, they're going to get to go before everybody else. I think that once again, we back off with the Griffins. We hope that the enemy doesn't run right here. We skip, and if they run, we're sad, but we couldn't have stopped them anyway. There's a couple of Centaurs. We're going to move just kind of into range. And they do stick around, and so we are going to defeat them, and that's absolutely magnificent. That's the second time this game where we've been able to back off the enemy, and that's ultimately going to be the difference between them running and us just defeating them. There is a range somewhere that the AI calculates that they are about to lose and that they ought to run, and sometimes you can wait, you can step back, you can try to keep enough troops around that they don't. Are we back? It just gave me the back. Okay. That was weird. That was like a 4. How long was that? Was that like 5 to 10 seconds? To me, it looked like it was about 3 seconds, but it might have been more than that. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I'm here at my local library, and generally they've got some excellent internet. They have like 200 megabytes of upload speed and download speed, but maybe somebody else hopped on and did something funky. So my train of thought is gone, but there's a range somewhere where the enemies are going to do, or are going to know that they should run. But if you can cheese that, if you can walk the line and then overwhelm them all at once, you'll be just fine. Must be aliens? Yeah, must be aliens. 1700 experience and a Wizard's Hat increases the duration of your hero spells by 10 turns. It must be a glitch in the Matrix. Do you like that movie, The Matrix? That movie is from what, 1998, 1999, something like that. I'm gonna need somebody to fact check me on that. But The Matrix is a movie that is held up to this day, in my opinion. Maybe you hate The Matrix, but I've been a big fan of that movie. 1999, yeah, with Keanu Reeves, and who's the bad guy? I know exactly who he is. I can see his face in my mind. Excellent movie though. Excellent movie. I think, again, it's held up very, very well. I put that trilogy right up there with Lord of the Rings. I'm going to respectfully disagree. just for the reason that, number one, the first movie was so good. It was so good. The first movie is on par with some of the best movies of all time. I don't know if 2 and 3 really held up. That's my concern. That's where I would potentially disagree with you. And I'm perfectly fine for a gentleman's disagreement where you say, nah, Fix Fox, you're wrong. And I say, oh, okay. So, but as far as trilogies go, you've named, Lord of the Rings is probably one of the all-time greatest. And I'm wondering what other trilogies are up there for all-time great movies, kind of as a series, movies 1, 2, 3, and so on. There's something to be said about having that additional time to tell a story. I think that's part of the reason why shows like, shows like Game of Thrones got so big. I never watched Game of Thrones, but it told an epic story in the amount of time it takes to tell an epic story. And I feel like that probably helped a lot of people really thoroughly enjoy that time. So having multiple movies or having multiple episodes to tell a story really helps the writers out to do things, do justice to the source material, no matter what it might be. Chris says, yeah, great movie, great times. I was watching 90s Raver during the time and attended a showing of that film after a night out listening to trance music and being off my head. Great film, great times. I love that you have that memory. That's like that flashbulb memory. And hopefully anytime you think about it, you say, yeah, that reminds me of this one night that was so very good. And I hope that that never changes. I hope that never changes. Rice to Ruin says, agreed. I found Lord of the Rings 2 and 3 much better than the first, though. Kind of the opposite of the Matrix. Yeah, kind of the opposite of the Matrix. I agree with that. I think that's definitely fair. Definitely fair. We're gonna pick up whatever sprites we can. It's not much. 4. I have a choice, folks. Here's the choice. Do I try to aggressively defend against Phineas, who could have up to 4 genies with not many more troops? And maybe I beat him, maybe I don't, but it's with my crappy hero because I completely forgot to purchase Falagar on day 7. Or do I just save the troops, play defensively, and let Maximus do work over here? It's an interesting choice. It's an interesting point of strategy. If you give up this area, you're going to give up Sulfur and Mercury. But I think more than trying to get a resupply over here, I think that we're going to be able to take this castle. And maybe just halt the advance of the enemy in short order. Picking up +1s, picking up some other stuff, and going from there. Babylon 5 was the first series to have a continuous story arc. How old is Doctor Who? I feel like Doctor Who is really old. I never was a big fan of Doctor Who, but I feel like that one also had a big story arc as well. Babylon 5, does that predate that? Is that the first series that continues a story arc for TV? Oh, for TV. Like it was a movie and then they made it a TV to kind of continue it. Rice Ruin, Wizard's Castle will always beat a Barbarian Castle long term as far as our strategy. Yeah, I think that Maximus has to clean house here. The Sulfur Mine is just a bonus, the Sulfur and the Gems. So I think that we just kind of hold on here and just hold on to what we have. We picked up the Hydras. Phineas won't be able to defeat us, but maybe we don't wreck ourselves with our weaker heroes. That feels probably the best thing to me. One way or the other, we've purchased all of the things we can purchase. We have built everything we can. We are out of movement. Jezebel's here. Jezebel's scary. Jezebel's tough. Nah, Doctor Who is from the 60s. It was several stories per season. Babylon 5 is one big story over 5 seasons. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for clarifying. Because, yeah, I'm completely unfamiliar with Babylon 5, actually. I'm going to have to take a look at that to get some more information on that because I'm interested. Rather than fight Jezebel out here, we're going to retreat to the castle. I think that we all agree that the one wizard castle on the map, having one wizard castle to the right and one wizard castle or one warlock castle to the west, one in the east, one in the west, this is the 2 towers, right? We just mentioned Lord of the Rings. This is the 2 towers. And from this bastion of strength and this bastion of strength, we can walk over the weaker factions. I really think we can. Who's going to defeat us potentially? Necromancers? Rough to say. I think that we definitely will have the 2 best castles on the map, and that's always going to be the best thing for us. There's no way we don't defeat Lord Kilburn here. We got the basic ballistics. Let's fight this fight. Even with rocks, even with iron golems, let's win. 19 of the centaurs, 1 of the Minotaur Kings, 2 griffins, 4 gargoyles, and 42 of the sprites. I'm anticipating losing actually all the sprites here. We will see, though. I think that their rocks are going to come on out and play. I don't think that the rocks want to go into a defensive position. What's the point? Our 67 centaurs are going to do much more. Lord Kilburn has 2 attack, 2 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge, so he's probably a level 1 hero. And I don't think that we need to worry too much about him. I'm going to put my Minotaur Kings in this position, hoping that the enemy comes out of the gate. Rather than trying to go through the moat very slowly, we're going to let the enemies come out to us. And rather than worry about this one halfling, we're just going to sit, we're going to wait. Maybe the griffins will go in. I just don't want any of these troops to stick around to attack the guys in the castle. I want them to come on out, every single one of them. We're going to start doing damage to the troops that can deal with us now. These rocks, that's going to be 2 rocks down. That's going to be many more rocks down, actually. And then now, because the gate is down, and I think we're going to keep the gate down, let's attack at this point. 1, 2. The very, very slow iron golems are not going to bother us at the moment. Not for one more turn. It's kind of like Star Trek, but in Babylon 5, the equivalent of the Federation was more a despot government, similar to the book 1984. Not nice and fluffy like the Federation from Star Trek. That makes sense. That's a really interesting story too that I'd be interested in. Something about, sci-fi and political intrigue. Those 2 things I think actually mix very, very well. And so if you have some, Federation type stuff, if you have some, overwhelming odds that people are trying to overcome. I think that can make for an excellent story, and I'm here for it. I'm very much here for it. Check it out. Great characters and story building. You got it. I will go check it out. Because, hey, I'm at my local library. I can find that book today. That might be what we do. We'll see. We're going to try and kill as many of these peasants as possible. I think we'll kill the rest of them on the retaliation. Hopefully we can get out of this round now. And the whole reason I want to get out of this fight right now is I don't want to take additional turret shots where I don't have to. Looks like might as well kill the Iron Golem, and then anybody that the peasants attack are going to get the retaliation there. So 2 Minotaur Kings, 20 sprites. We did better than the AI said that we would. 1,700 more experience. We are slowly getting to the point where our experience is super good. Plus on the leadership. Blood morale, minus the sprites, so it's going to be closer to average. We're going to buy a spell book today. Right now, Maximus needs to cast spells, and even just having a cure and a magic arrow, that's going to be incredibly useful. Whether we get a 2nd level mage guild here or not, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But for now, we're going to take our prize, and we're going to be very, very happy for it. I think I'm going to make sure that I never lose this castle, and before I do anything else, let's just pick up a right turret. I think that'll be good for us, because if Jezebel thinks she can beat us, then I don't want to disappoint her by having us be easy prey. Lots, a throng, few, and several. I don't think we want to fight. I know I postured like I was going to fight, but he seems to think he can beat me. And the problem is that those genies are basically, I consider them to be somewhere between a 5th and 6th level creature. They fly, so they're going to be very flexible. They have 50 hit points, so they're fairly tanky. They have the ability to half your stack, which is nuts, and they do a considerable amount of damage. They are most comparable, I would say, probably to the Paladin. Maybe not the Crusader upgrade, but the Paladin, like a flying Paladin, is kind of what I would expect out of them. And even 4 could be enough that Rathmont, with his 1 attack and no defense, could get destroyed by Phineas. I think that we need to play this safe. I don't love it. I would love to be aggressive. I think that the smart thing is to back off and make sure that we don't lose a castle. If we fought and lost, Atlantium would go down, and then we would feel very, very silly. So we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to see what Jezebel does here. And I'm going to hope that I can get another hero out and about. Whether we're going to be fortunate to be able to have 1 hero scouting, I don't know. But I'd like to have as many people scouting as possible. Yep, sounds good. Yeah, again, this is really late. Chris is going to go take a rest. Yeah, man, go take a breather. It's very late overseas. And so here in America, just because it's noon for me doesn't mean that I should expect you to be sharp and shiny all the time. Don't worry about it. Go take care of you. Okay, this is interesting. Level 9 hero. I am a level 9 hero. The only thing that Jezebel really has on me, I think, is that throng of goblins. Everything else I beat. With the 60 centaurs, the 38 sprites, with these other troops, I think that I should defeat her with ease, assuming that she is level 10 or below. And I don't want her to take all this, and I just lost my sulfur mine, and so I need to push in this direction anyway. I don't want to stay and wait. Do I have any potential resupply here? They took the rocks. They do have halflings, though. Would you rather have halflings or 4 gargoyles? If you only have a few war trolls, then I will just eat the damage from the war trolls. What spells do I have again? Maximus just picked up the magic arrow and the cure. So a slow would be ideal. A haste could be very useful. Really, a blind would be the thing I would love the very, very most. But the likelihood of picking up the blind is low, and I don't have the sulfur anyway. And I don't want to trade, not at this rate. With only 2 marketplaces, I don't want to trade at this time. I think that we're going to take the halflings more than anybody else. Magic arrow's 10 damage, pretty useless, yeah. It could help me pick off like 1 single stack of peasants or something, but I might even consider boars. I might consider boars. They don't fly, but they are a 6-speed creature, and you can get 19 of them. It's not going to affect my morale because I've got expert leadership. I'm going to want more troops than I have here just to make sure that this works out fine. We're going to pick up 17 boars. This might be their time to shine. We're going to stick them in the middle. Yeah, gargoyles, halflings over gargoyles, good idea. Boars over sprites, maybe. I think that halflings have the potential to be in the long-term army, and because I don't think I'm going to be able to jump on the trolls and the orcs like I would like to, I think that I would rather... I'm planning on taking damage onto the sprites, a little bit of damage on the centaurs, and hopefully I can keep the halflings alive for a future fight. That's kind of my plan. Halflings over sprites. How's this going to play out? We can look into our crystal ball here. Okay. So it's going to go, our 6-speed Minotaur Kings and our boars are going to go first, right? We have the only 6-speed creatures on the board. Then it's going to go their 5-speed War Trolls. And then it's going to go their... And then it's going to be... We have 3 4-speed creatures with their 1 4-speed creature. I guess they do have the wolves there. Hello, man. Great content. Hey, thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Don Fakuro. Wow, I'm going to mess that name up so much. Can you spell that out, enunciate it in the chat so I can get that right for me, sir? I'd love to say your name right. 6-speed. I've got 1 6-speed creature that'll go first, then the wolves. It's a mess, don't worry. Between the goblins and the ogre lords, the sprites will probably get eaten up before they can block an attack. How much longer am I going to use these sprites? I don't think that I'm going to want to use the sprites too much longer. There's no sorceress castle on the map. I think that the sorceress troops have actually outlived their usefulness. Nobody tells Steeson, but we're going to use the sprites and we're going to use them as fodder. I want 38 sprites to die in this fight. I think I want 38 sprites to die in this fight so that I can then take the wizard troops out for a walk in the near future. That's what I'm going to want to do. Yeah, that's how we're going to do this. My lips are sealed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, nobody tells Steeson. I'm sorry, Steeson. Okay. Glorious victory. It looks like it's going to be 5 Minotaur Kings is the big loss. 30 Centaurs. We talked about maybe losing some of those Centaurs. Let's really try and lose as many sprites as possible. And this is a victory, not the enemy running. Let's do even better. 112 Goblins. We knew that was going to be a little bit rough. Thankfully, they're in a position where 1, 2, 3, 4... If I attack with a troop right here in front of the War Trolls, the Goblins aren't going to get to reach. So no matter what, we're going to find a way, unless these troops get good morale, we're going to get the first shot off on those Goblins with Centaurs and then with Minotaur Kings. 3 attack, 3 defense, 2 spell power, 1 knowledge, 6 attack, and 6 defense. So we are superior. Great morale. If these Goblins get great morale, we're going to feel so bad. We're going to feel so bad. We're going to assume that these troops can deal with these guys down here. We're going to head in this direction. Just like this. Okay. Cold Ray. Wow, 20 sprites go down with 2 spell power. With 2 spell power, that was 40 damage. Is that right? I think that is right. Okay, never mind. That's right. For a second, I was like, that doesn't feel correct. Huh. Boars down the battlefield, but out of range of these guys. I don't think I care if I take the damage on the boars from these ogre lords, and I think that the ogre lords are going to go into a defensive position anyway. There's a thought process here. You could choose orc chiefs, or you could choose the goblins to attack. I think that because the goblins are for sure going to step right here in front of these orc chiefs, you want to deal with the orc chiefs before they get to shoot. But then again, are 9 Minotaur Kings going to kill 112 goblins? The answer is no. I think that one big meaty thwack off these goblins is going to help out a lot. I do. But then it's going to be 2 turns before you can get into these orc chiefs. If you don't attack the orc chiefs now, they're going to get 2 good shots off on you. Let's not let them get 2 good shots off on us. We killed 6. Not the best, not the worst. Not the best, not the worst. Let's try and work our way through these wolves here. Don't forget magic arrow as well to maximize damage. Good point. That's a really good point. I did completely forget about that. And we're not going to use the cure at all. So even one more orc chief, I'm happy to bring down. Actually, is it possible that the wolves attack the griffins, take the retaliation, and then we're going to kill them in just 1 turn? I think that's actually fairly possible. I do think that's fairly possible. We're not going to be able to get any damage off this way, and the War Trolls only did... War Trolls did 43 damage. We know we're going to lose the sprites anyway. Let's get some damage off of the sprites. And 38 damage from these orc chiefs. That's actually not too bad from them. If I attack here, I don't think the wolves will run. Man, I wish I had a steel skin. We're going to take a hit back. We're going to lose at least one Minotaur King, maybe even two. Maybe even two. We're going to save the magic arrow for just a second. 112 down. They just lost 42 goblins. They're down to 70. We did lose 2 Minotaur Kings there. We're going to use the boars actually to start working on these ogre lords. This is not ideal, by the way. What I'm doing here is I'm splitting the damage around. I'm spreading the damage around. Do I like that decision? No, I actually really do not. I think it's generally a poor decision. By the way, the wolves skipped their turn, so we're going to attack these orc chiefs one more time. But really, I think it's a poor decision to split your damage. You'd rather kill stacks where you can and just go from there. Yeah, I don't love this. We're gonna have the 9 sprites slot in here, try to kill some of these hasted goblins and just prevent damage from the orc chiefs, and then 5 Minotaur Kings. Time to start killing some ogre lords. Don't love it, but we're gonna do it. We missed out on our magic arrow that turn, didn't we? You even told me, you even said don't forget. You even said don't forget. Okay, down to 3, down here. That's gonna be 1, 2 war trolls goes down there. 13 hit points left. We're not gonna be able to get any additional damage onto them. Do I kill him now? No, I think that we put tons of damage out onto these ogre lords. Again, don't care if the sprites eat it. And we'll go from there. Okay. Okay. Killing their fastest troops first. 4 speed, doesn't matter which one we kill. I'm once again thinking about how I keep the enemy from running. We're gonna try. Probably fail, but we're gonna try to keep them from running. And then 3 speed on the orc chiefs. So let's kill 54 hit points worth of ogre lords here, and let's hope that 7 griffins can do enough damage. Let's hope for it. Got it. Okay. That is 3 instances. That is 3 times in this game already that we've been able to keep the enemy from running when they might have otherwise. So 8 centaurs, 5 of the Minotaur Kings, all the sprites, and we wanted to lose all the sprites. So that's perfectly fine. It's the 5 Minotaur Kings is pretty tough, but for 1700 experience and free access to the sulfur, that's going to go a long way. I think that we're actually going to consider, do we take the estates or do we take the diplomacy? Gold is very, very useful. Diplomacy, we've already got the bonus of having our surrender cost cut more than in half. I think that that's the biggest reason why I would like diplomacy. So for that reason, let's take the estates. We've already got the big effect. So we'll do that now and go from there. We're going to step 1 step back in. Yeah, let's hope Steeson doesn't watch this on YouTube. He will. He will. Steeson, I know you will. So I am prepared. I'm ready. I'm sad, but I'm ready. So. Yep. What is a promise amongst friends, but just another way to disappoint people? I ask you. We're going to go this way, and we're going to pick up experience where we can, because I think that I can make Maximus just the biggest, toughest, strongest guy in the world. We are getting to the point where our defense and our attack skill, we're going to be able to deal with whatever barbarians come our way. And because we have the 6th level creatures, the dragons and the titans, we're going to be feeling pretty darn good. I really think we will. We can even pick up this 3rd level spell from this shrine. Look at this. +1 on the knowledge, lucky gambler's coin. Excellent. But we may pick up a nice 3rd level spell here. We will see. We will see. Notice that Phineas went in this direction instead. I think that there's one more enemy hero here and there's one more enemy hero here. I think I'm going to just save Rathmont. I'd love to be aggressive. I'd love to go do some scouting. Alamar's going to stay in the castle, isn't he? He's just going to stay, right? If he's just going to stay, then we might as well have Rathmont go. Yeah. We might as well just have Rathmont go with his scouting and his 6-speed creature. Choices everywhere. Okay, on to a new day. So that's month 1, week 4, day 3, on to day 4. We still have one more turn with our Mercury. By the way, 1 sawmill, 1 alchemist lab, 1 ore mine, 1 sulfur mine, 1 crystal mine, 1 gem mine. Gems and sulfur are going to be the big things for titans and for dragons. No gold mine yet, but we picked up a great artifact here on Maximus for the extra 1,000 gold per day for the sack of gold. So, by the way, new thing that I found out you can do in FHeroes2 that you could not do in Heroes 2, you can move your artifacts. So from here on out, it's officially best practice to put bad artifacts closest to this direction and good artifacts over here. So that way, if they defeat your hero, but they have too many artifact slots and they run out of room to take artifacts from you if you die, good artifacts should be always over here and worse artifacts should be over there. Just saying. Just saying. That's officially now the new best practice. 1,500 gold or the 1,000 experience. Once again, we're going to take the experience. And now I think I prefer the diplomacy over the scouting. It's not my main hero's job to scout. He's just going to do a fairly okay job at it. Gold here, and I'm hoping for a great spell here. View Towns. That's the second time we've gotten the View Towns. I am going to cast it though, because we lost Falagar, who had View Towns before. And even though it's 2 spell points, I want to see how this has changed. I never thought of it that way. I had always OCD'd my good artifacts closer to the spellbook and crap ones at the end. Yeah, I think what you're going to find is it's going to be more important when FHeroes2 has their own online servers and people start playing against each other. I think that's where it's really going to come up handy. That's what I think. We will wait. We will find out. There's still one town that hasn't been taken. I think that this town has turned into a castle. I think that they've upgraded here. But again, we're still looking at barbarian, barbarian, barbarian. Oh, there is a sorceress castle here. So that's interesting. So sorceresses and necromancers. And then I think that these 3 towns, I think that that's knight, or maybe that's wizard. Tough to say. Until it's a wizard castle, I don't really care. And still we're going to continue on. So good time for that spell, just to kind of see how the map is shaping up, just to see how things have changed. Alamar is staying in his hidey hole. We're going to lose this alchemist slab in just 1 second. I would love to pick up this ivory tower. Is there any reason not to? 5 of each resource. It's clearly an investment taking us towards better troops as well. We're going to pick that up now. Probably going to avoid the library. Definitely going to get the 2nd level mage guild, but probably not going to go for the Archmagi anytime soon. If I had to guess. There goes our alchemist lab. Alamar has slept. I'm just going to hit the letter Z, so he's asleep. Rathmont is going to go with reckless abandon. Should I go this way or this way? I think that Maximus is going to go to the right. Do I need to hop back in here for anything? I do not. Magi right now are not better than anybody else. Oh, I do need Rathmont to go pick up. We've got a gem mine right here. With 7,100 gold, we're going to pick up Agar. And Agar is going to take the bulk of these gargoyles as he adventures forth. Strange to run 3 heroes. Not something that I usually do. I want the 6-speed creatures over the 4-speed creatures. Even though the griffins are better, like tougher, that's kind of the way I'd prefer that split, I think. Down to 4 Minotaur Kings. They've been good for us, but they are being depleted very, very quickly. We've got to go back. Yep, we got to go back. Blind is too good of a spell. In my mind, I didn't think I would have enough resources, and once I realized that I did, I realized I made a mistake. And let me just tell you something. For a knight-based hero who has only 2 spell power, how good is a blind? Not that good. But it's amazing because it's blind, right? I just did a community poll that indicated that I think 89% out of 60 votes said that blind was the favorite spell out of the 4 choices that were present. With that being said, 2 spell power, not that good. I wish I had an artifact that would, oh, wait a second, a wizard's hat. So it increases the duration of my hero spells by 10 turn. Maximus effectively has 12 spell power. Yeah. Rise to Ruin, you knew I was making a joke. You saw where I was going with that before I got there. And I appreciate that very, very much. So yeah, that's where we were going with that fun little tidbit. Wilfree's and nothing, just genies on Phineas. We're going to lose Ross Common in just half a second. Agar's going to grab these gems because they're going to be the best thing for us. Great minds think alike. Yep. I've said it before. I will say it again. I have the smartest chat. The very smartest chat. I'm very grateful for it. Where I'm going, what I'm doing, I don't know. Rathmont just trying to stay alive. And then we've got to go back anyway. And so we might as well now. And so we're probably going to end up waiting 1 extra turn here because it's almost day 7. Do I like that? No, it is what it is. We're going to pick up the orchard. Extra 8 halflings, no problems there. And then no purchases here because we're still looking for a whole ton of sulfur. We kind of side quested a little bit with Magi and a 2nd level mage guild, but still worth it. Aha! And I'm very glad actually that Rathmont didn't go in this direction. I'm just sad more than anything. Balagar's back. And he was such a good hero, and I just didn't hire him back because I got busy. That hurts. That hurts. It doesn't feel good. Not at all. But Rathmont has gone in the right direction, and we're just going to scatter to the 5 wins. Why is it 5 wins? I don't know. I think it's usually supposed to be 4 wins, but I'm sure that we can squeeze one more wind out of there somewhere. And I think that we can definitely defeat Falagar if we try. And I don't want him to stick around. I do not want him to stick around. This is going to cost us a little bit of time. That's going to be okay. Let's avoid losing every single halfling ever. I'm guessing that it's going to be 1 or 2 lightning bolts or cold rays with that 4 spell power. I think that's what Falagar is going to do to us, and it's going to feel so bad. We're going to cast the blind now. Maybe that'll actually prevent a damaging spell from coming out. And since it's going to be on these orc chiefs, that'll prevent him from maybe casting an offensive spell, and maybe that'll make it so I don't have to sacrifice my gargoyles needlessly. Let's head in this direction. Yep, there it is. And so he cares more about doing damage to me than he cares about trying to save his 13 blinded orc chiefs. We do lose 1 Minotaur King there. 1 attack, 2 defense. Interesting. I think that, so his gargoyles are going to go. I'm going to have to hope that on this retaliation and with my gargoyles that I get these guys freed up, and I do. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do enough damage there. Let's kill as many of these ogre lords as possible. That's just a whole ton of hit points we got to chew through. With 20 halflings left, let's try and kill. We can kill all of the wolves. Let's try it. Let's see it. Close. All the halflings. Every single one. But we're going to kill him and he's not going to get to run. How do I know? Because we're going to kill this 4-speed creature, and then we have 2 opportunities here with the boars and the gargoyles to kill these goblins. So 8, can we kill 13? It's going to be closer than I'd like, but I'm pretty sure we can do this. Nice. Nice. And then everybody's going to wait because of the blind. We're just going to let them have 1 more turn of reprieve before we come on in here. It's probably going to be Minotaur Kings and the 2 Hex boars, and then my 1 ranged creature. Ouch. But he's not going to get to go this turn. So I think that these 60 centaurs with the basic archery, even if we didn't get the good morale there, that would have been it. Okay, so 1, 1, 1, and 46. Ouch, 26 halflings times 2. The nice thing is this, is that we tried to save the halflings previously. At least now we have Arc Magi coming. That's good. We might have even wanted to replace them anyway. It doesn't feel good though. It doesn't feel good. So, okay. Any heroes to purchase now? If I purchase them now, then Maximus doesn't have to come back tomorrow. We got 34 spell points anyway. We might as well just plan on hitting the road. It's going to be costly for 1 more hero, but we've got the gold for it. I think we're going to purchase a hero now. No, we're going to wait and hope that we get a warlock. We're going to hope we get a warlock. Maybe we get another hero that the enemy has ready for us. +1 crystal, shrine, view minds. We're going to cast view minds right now. Okay, very interesting. So yellow and green are the 2 primary powers, and they are in and out of themselves. Fixed Fox, Butcher of Sprites and Halflings. Wow, that is dirty. Jeez, man, my dad watches these videos. Ouch, my heart. At least my mom doesn't. Maybe she does. I mean, we've seen Fixed Fox wife in the chat, so you know. With a title like that, I'm just worried about my pride and what my family thinks about me. Centaurs next. We've already seen how I treat goblins and peasants, especially peasants. Yeah. You gotta be tactical. You gotta be ruthless. That's what you gotta do. Look at this. So crystal. There's so much crystal. Not to mention we got picked up some other ones. Your mom doesn't watch, but your dad might. Hey, Fixed Fox wife, I didn't see you there. Thanks. Mercury, gems, sulfur, crystal ore, wood. Hey, don't be hard on yourself. You did build a farm for the peasants. I did do that. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that farm that they have is nicer than what I have currently. They have this nice picturesque little cottage, you know. I think that that's an upgrade over what most of us have, and that's okay. This view mines is mostly telling me the story of how green and yellow are interacting. Orange is the third player here, and we are about to go into them pretty quickly. I think that this is where their castle is. If Maximus can take a castle right now, then that extra resupply hero that I just purchased, or that I will purchase in short order, is going to be very, very much worth it. Agar is going to go down, can't help it. We wandered right into Halon. We're going to purchase a hero here. It's going to be Thalagar. He's back. What a fortuitous moment for us. That is critically important. That was massive. So, just in case you haven't seen this before, here's Thalagar. He's our primary hero. We started off with Thalagar. He runs away in shame. Okay, it happens. We were supposed to purchase him by day 7. We did not. He went out of our tavern and was hired by the enemy. We defeated him from the enemy, and now he is back in our tavern. And now he is back in our employ. Thalagar, I like that you're joining the winning team there, bud. That is the best thing you could have done. I'm all for it. We're going to purchase rocks. We're going to probably use these rocks instead of the boars. 5 rocks over all those boars. Maybe not. Maybe not. The luck roll? Yeah. Very lucky, and I will take it. I am all for the luck. This is the army that we're going to take out with us. Because we have to go back, I don't know if Maximus is going to get to this castle that we think is up here. I say think. I think that we actually know it's up there. I think that the 6 Magi are actually better than the 3 Minotaur Kings. We are playing this really loose and really fast. But 3 Minotaur Kings is good, but not great. So, because we have the diplomacy, if we need to run, if we get into a sticky situation, we will. We can surrender, we can run, whatever. Let's see. We have enough spell points. This view towns makes sense. Okay, so we wanted to go right of these trees instead to the left. And maybe that means since this hero's here and their castle is here, maybe we can just go here, stay out of the way of them, and then take this castle before they get a good resupply. That's what we're going to try to do. Let's take 2 steps up. We can take it. We're just going to take it. Perfect. Okay, a day 1 take is wonderful. I don't think diplomacy helps with surrender costs in Heroes 2. It does. It does, and I'll show you in just 1 second. 18 centaurs, can we do better? We can. Because these are single stacks of halflings, we're going to do the magic arrow that Rise to Ruins discussed with us before. So they specifically, it was always there in Heroes 2. It was always a factor in Heroes 2 in the base level game, the Heroes Gold and whatnot. And they just made a nice little tooltip extra here on the diplomacy because it was a hidden statistic for this secondary skill of diplomacy. There at the very bottom, after approximately 50% of the creatures may have to join the hero, the cost of surrender is reduced to 30% of the total cost of the troops in the army. Yes, and it was always the case. That is not an addition with FHeroes 2. Much in the same way that archery, it just says it increases the damage done by the hero's damage. And it did not used to say that it eliminates the 50% penalty when shooting past obstacles. I don't think it used to say that, but we all know that archery, not only for the flat damage increase, also removes the shooting penalty. There were a few of these kind of hidden mechanics with these skills that for one reason or another didn't actually make it into the game. I'm wondering if it was a late addition before they shipped the game, and then they just didn't add that to the tooltip. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happened. Okay. So very interesting stuff, like really interesting stuff. 4 halflings, can we kill 4 halflings with 10? Actually, no. We can kill 4. Let's just kill 4 halflings, kill 1 whole stack there. But yeah, very interesting, I think. I'm thrilled for it. The halflings, if I kill here, this guy will retaliate. Rocks kill here, you kill here. We can kill all 10 here. Oh, we're gonna kill them before they get the chance to even attack. We lost 18 centaurs because their castle walls attacked 1 time and maybe they had a magic arrow or something else in this mage guild. They probably would have cold raid once. Interesting. So we saved ourselves a lot there. And picking up the cold ray summon boat, haste, bloodlust, shield, good spells. Thrilled for it. Thrilled for it. And if I'm looking at this castle is fully upgraded except for this pyramid. This might have been the Viking starting castle here for Orange. This might have been it. This feels excellent. I think that I would rather not go for Cyclopes now. I think I'd rather focus on, probably at this point, Titans more than anything. But but we've now got another marketplace. That's 3 marketplaces. We can start to consider trading at a good rate. We can probably get giants by the end of this week. I think we should try and get giants by the end of this week for sure. That should be our plan. We're gonna, oh, hello. Maybe we pick up Fenton. We'll see if they get anybody in there in just 1 second. Phineas might be on a crash course with Wilfrey. We'll see about that. Nope, he goes the other direction. He does not pick up the +1 to the morale. And very surprising, actually, that Halon just wasted time rather than defeating Agar. Maybe he just doesn't think that I'm worth it. Maybe he just doesn't think that I'm worth it. We're going to escape here through the back way. Maximus is going to go try and kill this hero. I don't know who it is. This could be a little bit scary, but it could be good for us. It could be bad for us. We'll have to wait and find out. And then I don't think it's going to do me any good to have Falgar do anything other than sit at the moment. He doesn't have good enough troops. He just has to sit and wait until he has some better supporting cast. We're really kind of playing this sit back and defend until we can overwhelm the enemy at this point. I left a comment on your last Heroes 3 vid, but I think YouTube glitched out. It went something like, is that a bird, a plane, fix hacks? Nope, it's Diplo. Those griffins made such a big difference. YouTube has been doing that a lot recently, and it's for reasons that I don't understand. Yeah, a lot of comments on YouTube are just not getting through, and occasionally it'll show me a notification like, oh, somebody just commented, and then I go to click on it and it's not there, and I can't see what the comment might have said and things like that. So YouTube has been doing me really dirty with comments a lot recently. I've got multiple people saying, hey, I tried to comment and I didn't get anything in. So sorry that that's happening. I'm sorry that that's happening. Yeah. I said it last time and I haven't followed through on that. I will, but we're going to be looking at getting a Discord pretty soon, and that's going to be another place that you can actually catch me in case anybody's interested. That'll be another opportunity that you can just drop comments there, and that way you can know, hey, I'm having a hard time with this, but I really want to say something to you. And then that'll be another opportunity for people to comment on which map they would like to see next. So, JoJosh is back. Several war trolls, several ogre lords, a horde of goblins, and a few orc chiefs, and a few of these boars. We're going to fight this fight, and I think we're going to lose. But we're going to fight it because we have additional troops here. And I think that we fight down to the last person. Hopefully we keep the Magi alive. We fight down to the end here. Maybe we win. I don't think we do. We rehire, and then we overwhelm with these additional troops coming out. I think that's what we're going to do. So even if we lose this fight, don't stress, don't panic. We've got this. Oh, and then you run away and make me look like a chump. You jerk. Okay, JoJosh wants nothing to do with me. Very interesting, very interesting. Still, 6 attack, 2 defense, 1 and 1. He's still like a level... What is that, level 3, maybe level 4 hero? Not going to hold a candle to my 7 attack and 6 defense. Well, my defense is much better anyway. We do have lots of good spells for us here. Let's use this blind immediately. If he's got a cure, if he has a dispel, then let him use it. The fact that these goblins are 50 exactly and not 99 is pretty good for us. I actually thought that we would lose because of that, and I actually thought that he was tougher. I think this is the first time we've seen JoJosh, so pretty interesting there. We're going to put the boars kind of down into this bottom position. We might get attacked here. Interesting haste. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. And we're going to stay away from these goblins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because these ogre lords are hasted now, we're just going to wait on the gargoyles, and the rocks are going to go and mix things up pretty quickly. Weird fight, but this is going to work out really, really well for us. My word, I thought that it feels like with no backbone of Minotaur Kings, it feels like we are going to be worse off, and yet it looks like it's going to be okay. We're going to use one more blind here, just so that way the enemy is for sure not going to run. They've now lost their turn. We're going to overwhelm them. One gargoyle goes down in the process. Everybody's going to step forward, and then everybody's going to get to attack in just 1 second. Very weird though. I'm struggling to make sure that I understand exactly how the spell damage should go in some of these weird fights. Very strange. Can we do 6 points of damage? Yes, we can. And JoJosh does not get to run. Actually, was that the second time we've beat JoJosh? Didn't we beat him once and we got the Everhot Lava Rock? I think that somebody else actually hired him back. I think that's what that was. So funny how that works. We're going to take the ballistics. Combat stats right now, always better. Always better. And I think that we're going to use Maximus to go up in this direction because he might get a nice try into the second circle here. It might be garbage, but it might be good. +1 on the gems, and Benton does not have any defenders. 31 halflings, they're just going to opt to give it to us. We're going to hire those immediately. Even though they're very slow creatures, we're going to hire those immediately. There's no break in the tree line there, and I'm feeling very good about my position. Look at this. If we are able to kind of hold this choke point, and then this choke point, we're going to be feeling pretty okay, because there's one access point here, one access point here, and one access point here. This map is full of these little chokes, and controlling the map in that way, I think that if we can hold on to this and just keep the enemies in front of us and nobody gets behind us, then that means that our other heroes can wander freely. They can pick up mines, they can pick up like one of these 25 goblin huts we see here. And I really think that we've got some interesting opportunities. Very interesting. Okay. Even if we do lose these halflings, I'll be sad, but again, our troops have already been decimated somewhat. We're going to continue on. Happy to see another ore mine, because ore is actually good for lots of different buildings, Cyclopes and the dragons specifically. Halon's coming in hot. I actually am going to take Agar in this direction. If I can rejoin my troops over here, I'll be feeling fantastic. He wasted himself. Phineas with his genies has almost no troops left. He put his throng of goblins and his orc chiefs up here, but he lost what made him so scary. Folks, we are pressing out right now. We are not waiting. We've sat back, and I'm feeling pretty good about my chances now with Alamar. Even though he's a first level hero, we can do a lot of damage. Are we going to take the Hydras on the road? You better believe it. 2-speed creatures. Do I love doing that? No. But this is going to be fine because there is Mercury, there's Sulfur. Yeah, this is a good choice for us. And Falagar, knowing all this, is actually going to leave here now. He's going to leave here now. Maximus is probably going to take Big Oak and those troops, and Falagar is going to operate over here. Again, that 2 towers approach, that 2 hero approach that we've been talking about. It's day 3. We are looking maybe at building up one of these towns into a castle so we can get a 4th marketplace so we can trade even better. That seems reasonable to me. Oh. Do you think he sees us? I think he sees us. Okay. Got a little excited there. Alamar is going to be a little too far away, and that's okay. We're gonna go just like this, so we can have all these gargoyles here. There's a strong possibility that Agar will just die, that Phineas will come out of the town. I don't think I could stop it. I think it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see. What was this spell again? This was View Artifacts. I'm going to use the View Artifacts spell, but in large part, it's because it's going to be day 7 by the time we leave, or day 1 in just a moment. In large part because we don't need to worry about spells at this point, and it might help me find some big caches of resources and some big caches of treasure. I'm guessing that if I was designing a map and I wanted to have dragons or some big enemy guarding something, I would stick it right in the middle of the map, and I'd probably have 2 artifacts looking just like that. So we're gonna assume that there's something big and wonderful there. Interesting that there's still so many more artifacts all across the place. Maybe Rathmont is gonna go and find what we're looking for there. Lord Kilburn is back, not too scary of an army. Let's continue on. Demon Cave, don't care. Is it right here? No, it's closer up there, I think. I mean, we could try and get another wizard castle here. I think it feels too exposed. I think it's going to be easier to defend one of these barbarian castles, but I'd rather have another wizard castle. We're going to wait on upgrading a castle for now, because Lord Kilburn I think is going to be a little too tough. You can get a left turret, right turret. Yeah, but he's going to get here by day 1. No, he's got peasants and he's on snow, unless he's got pathfinding. We're going to be crazy here. We're going to do this because it's going to be worth an extra 750 gold per day. Maybe this is a mistake, but for now we're going to assume that it's not. There's one more green hero here, by the way. Okay, we're going to probably run. Let's see though, maybe with some really nice spells we can do something fun. I was amazed how many of these enemy troops we actually killed here. I'm very amazed actually. We picked up a lightning bolt for 100 points of damage. We got to see what spells Halon the Wizard has. Hold on, do I have auto spell casting on. So that was taking into account the use of spells. There's a chance that I've auto combated a few spells and it's cost me. We're going to skip one more turn. I'm going to assume that he's not going to drop a lightning bolt on my head here and kill here and kill here. So I think we're going to have 2 rounds of combat. We're going to wait and see. No spell cast. Halon did not cast a spell. We're going to start moving. We're just going to stay put, right? We're going to make them come to us. 6 spell points left. We're still going to lose. We got a couple of magic arrows. We're going to kill here. 2. None. 2. None. 1. Probably going to do 1 magic arrow for 40 points of damage here. Kill all those halflings. And these 5 Medusa are going to be too much for us. But we're going to defeat all their other troops. I'm so scared. Is he just playing possum here? What spell did he just cast? He cast the stone skin, didn't he? It's not worth it to me to maybe mess this up. It's not worth 40 more points of damage. So we're gonna bow out gracefully. Batanya's coming. I still think that Alamar is pretty tough. Several few pack. Let's have Agar grab this. Head back up because I think that we've got more aggression from Atlas and such. Do I take this castle now or do I play it safe? I think that we can take this castle. I think we can defeat both of these enemies. Not for 17. I don't want to lose all 17 gargoyles though. No, I do not. We're going to move in this direction. We're going to assume that they don't get good morale. He's got good morale, but we're going to assume it's not really good morale. We're going to keep the gargoyles back and start working on this big stack. 104 down to 85. No good morale comes out. 18 griffins are going to kill these 4 orcs. Or they're going to kill them on the retaliation. How about that? And then the snakes are going to just slither their way in. 85 down to 37. 1 Minotaur King. And really, just not losing all of the gargoyles is pretty excellent for me. Do I have 1 single spell? I do not. I never got a mage guild. And so between these goblins here, they're going to get the chance to run. They choose not to, which is amazing because I think that Phineas was actually a pretty good hero. A kinetic dependence, so you're not immune to paralyzed spells. What is happening? I am very confused. I'm very confused. Batanya's coming our way. There's nothing in here, including goblins. I don't think she can beat us. And so we're going to head down the road and just show up in the club like somebody who is very, very confident in themselves. Because we are. We are very, very confident in ourselves. There's a chance. We already mentioned that we're going to get the Cloud Castle this turn. And it looks like we're not even going to need to trade. Funny enough, I thought we would actually need to trade a little bit. Nope. Okay, real quick. 1 goblin hut, 2 goblin huts, 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. There are 10 goblin huts here. Wow. Wow. Another reason to have taken a might hero, funny enough. There's nobody here at this time. Vesper's around. There is this sorcerer's castle here. I'm pretty sure that this is where those artifacts were, weren't there? Crystal. Maybe they're up here. Maybe Vesper just breached. There's the artifact. There was probably 1 and 2. So Vesper's got a couple artifacts. We need to keep an eye on that. End of day 5. Batanya does run. Rathmont is going to go down. I think we're just going to let him go down. Let's take a quick look at Vesper, and then we'll hit Q to end this battle. Interesting map. Pretty interesting map. 8 spell power. Vesper is chunky. He is chunky. We're just going to sit here. Probably lose the gargoyles now. Nope, they killed 10 halflings. 21, 15. I'm just going to save 15 halflings' lives. So that way I am not a butcher of halflings. See guys, words hurt. Words hurt. Day 6, we need to make sure that we don't forget to hire Falagar back. Even though Almar's been good for us, Falagar is just superior. Level 4 over to level 4. Well, 0, 1, 4, and 4. 1, 2, 4, and 2. But he's actually got spells. So for that reason, it's going to be Falagar more than Alamar. We're going to head on back and start to take care of things in that way. Titania backing off gives Agar the chance to stay safe. It's going to be day 7 tomorrow. We're going to end up wasting a little bit of time here. And I do want to start upgrading this castle a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Orange is on a collision course with me. Interesting. Look, did you see the way that those heroes turned? Everybody was kind of trending in this direction. And then 1, 2, and 3 heroes coming this way. Very interesting. Okay. Cliff Nest for now, and more so than the well. Cliff Nest is better than the well, I think. Sitting pretty. Grabbing a gazebo. Handing off these troops. And day 7, cannot forget. Pick up that Cloud Castle. Okay. I wouldn't have thought that we would have gotten giants before green dragons, but here we are. Here we are. I suppose it's worth questioning, even if we don't know the answer and we're not going to find out till later. How tough are these heroes? We know that Atlas was a 6 attack hero at one point. Never seen Halon in action. Vesper we know has 8 spell power. Are they trying to combine forces? Vesper, horde, several, few. Halon, pack, few, several. No creatures for any of these guys above level 5. I think that we're just going to rush out and dominate. I don't think that we're going to take the giants on the road with us, because we're probably going to get titans this week. But I think that we just slap these guys right now. Right now. Demoted to part-time butcher. Gotta say, I'm not impressed. Fixed parts. Demoted. Sad. I'm not that sad. I'm more loving it because it's just funny and hilarious. You know what? Good banter. Okay, I need to know what you guys think about this. Is good banter hard to find in 2024? I had to think about what year it was. Is good banter hard to find in 2024? I will tell you that I think that good banter, good playful ribbing back and forth, people just having a fun time with each other. I think that it's never been in a worse place than it is now. And it's not because people are in general more sensitive than they've ever been, which might be where you think I'm going with this. But I think it's true because everybody's worried that they're going to find somebody that's more sensitive, and that one person who's really loud is going to prevent us from having a good time as friends and do some, give each other some bull crap back and forth. I truly think that that's the case. Sometimes I'm scared not to say what I want to say just because I'm worried that somebody's going to overhear amongst friends my conversation, say, that's against the law and you're going to have to go to jail. How likely is it? It's fairly possible. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying that's going to put me in jail, but you know what I'm saying. Is banter harder to do in 2024 than not? Interesting to think about. Are jokes harmful? Are jokes going to hurt you? I think as long as it comes from a good place, people who want to be offended will find a way regardless. I could not agree with that take more. And I don't mean that. I don't want to be unfair to the people who maybe, I don't want to be unfair to people in general, but I think that has never been more true. And unfortunately, I think that I think it's impacted me more than I'd like to admit. I think it has. Here's one way it's impacted me. So I made a an observation. It would have been the very first scenario of the gem campaign. Gem indicates that, hey, she needs this tent, right? It's this tent that'll make sure that she is able to get healed with the first aid and this and that. And I read the story about how she finds all these enemies that are besieging her. And she just has this terrible, terrible nightmare, right? And I said, I hereby diagnose you with PTSD. Maybe not the most sympathetic comment you've ever heard, right? Really, probably not. But immediately I felt like I needed to follow that up with, okay, here's kind of where I'm coming from with that. Here's my understanding of it. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be flippant. But I did appreciate that several people actually reached out to me and said that they really liked the way that I handled the feedback afterwards, because I specifically said, I'm not trying to be offensive, but if I offend you, then I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize, because I didn't mean to be offensive. And if you took offense, that's on you, right? Unfortunately, I am totally the kind of guy that ends up putting my foot in my mouth so much. I will say dumb stuff all the time, and I don't mean to be offensive, really, I don't. But it does happen because I'm just, number one, human, and number two, like, I prefer to speak off the cuff, right? And not if, but when I offend you, I hope that people understand that he doesn't mean any harm by it. Truly, I hope that that's how people look at it. Not if, but when I say something dumb. And so far in my life, I've gotten a lot of leeway with that. I think that I've most often put my foot in my mouth when it comes to talking with like coworkers and stuff like that. I'll say something that they understand me. They know me well enough that they say, I know that you meant that to not be offensive. One of my favorite stories, I'm not going to say who it's from, but what they had said to a coworker was, they'd looked out the window and they seen them doing parallel parking, and they happened to be a woman, and they said, hey, you parallel parked that like a man, like they did it really, really professionally, like really quick, like and the coworker said, I know that you meant that to be a compliment. And that's kind of the understanding that I hope that people have more and more in life. You can be offended if you want. No one's going to take that right away from you, but I hope that people more and more say, I know that you meant that to be a compliment. I know that you meant that to be funny. I know that you're just an idiot, as opposed to anything else. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't been canceled yet. Granted, I haven't tried to be canceled yet. I wonder what that would look like if I did try and get canceled. We will see. These halflings are going to go last. I think that my rocks are going to go after these Medusa. I'm going to take the damage onto the gargoyles. I'm going to attack these sprites as much as I can to reduce damage there. With the good luck, we're going to kill a bunch of them. 54 down to 12. My word. And then these 9 magi, even though they are cursed, they're going to put a wallop of damage onto these Medusa here. Damage onto the centaurs. Can't avoid it. We're just going to kill 12 sprites right here. 10 gargoyles down to 9. And then the rocks are going to probably kill all these halflings on the retaliation. We've got this good luck, by the way. We did pick up that lucky gambler's coin, and it looks like it's doing very well for ourselves. Very well. I'm amazed that the enemy didn't run here. I don't know why the enemy is not running as much as possible. Maybe that's not the way to put it. Maybe I'm amazed that the enemy is not running as much as well as they have in times past. It feels like, I think that the AI should have run away there. And I think that everything I know about the AI is that they would have run away there in the past. Maybe that's a point of interest that I'd like to hear from other people on. Is it possible? I know that last time my game just crashed because it got too hot in here. If your PC or laptop, if it starts doing really, really poorly for whatever reason, are you more likely to have the game make bad decisions? And I ask that with this in mind. I love Warcraft 2, and I've had experiences in my life where I'm playing Warcraft 2, and it absolutely plays better or worse at some points in time. So I'm very interested to know, if my CPU is running hot, will that affect the game's performance? I have no idea, and I'd really love to hear if anybody knows anything about that, because I don't know. I don't know much about computers other than how they work. Okay. I think as long as it comes from a good place, people will be offended and will find a way regardless. Yeah, I think what you're doing is fine, broski. Heroes2 is a bit of an older following and a bit more mature and thick-skinned, and politics doesn't play as big of a role in this room as I've so far as I've seen. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I do appreciate that the majority of the folks that enjoy this are generally in the, if YouTube analytics has anything to say about it, somewhere in the 35 plus range, which makes sense because again, older game. And that suits me just fine. That suits me just fine. Not sad if you're younger, not sad if you're older, but it suits me just fine. Green has Cyclops. Yellow has Cyclops. We're looking for Thundax. We're looking for Crag Hack. And orange is on the ropes. I don't think that orange has any castles. I think that orange has 0 castles, and that's why they're in 4th position. I'm guessing the green has 2 towns, but no castles. I think that orange is on the ropes. I think orange is about to go down. And as far as army strength, yellow is still tougher. And note that yellow is the one player that we haven't fought yet. Yellow is the one player that we've not taken a chunk out of it all. When they come back, they're going to come back ferociously. They've got the whole northeastern part. They probably are the ones that killed purple, and they've just been getting stronger and stronger. 9 attack, 5 defense on JoJosh. That's pretty scary. We're going to have to be so careful with them. And we don't have pathfinding, so they're always going to be faster than us in the snow unless we're on roads. This is a very, very interesting oracle here. Very interesting. Necro is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, Necro is nowhere to be seen. So I was about to compare your Save 10 Halflings comment to someone in the 1940s. I don't know. I'm not sure where that joke is going with that one. You would have to spell that one out for me. I'm gonna assume it's 1940s. World War II? I don't know where the joke's going on that one. Okay. Barak, we're gonna purchase him just because I want to save time on my main hero. The slow could have been good. I'm not going to have Maximus turn around though. Slow could be really good, but we're not going to turn around. I've been doing that a lot recently where I just go and it costs me a little bit of time here. This is Sir Gallant, by the way. This is your toughest hero for Orange. I think that this is probably their final hero. We are about to take them out of the knees. We're going to be doing so good in just a second. Balagar, this is Crag Hack, and it is, and we need to go. If he has pathfinding or if he has logistics, we're in trouble, especially because it's a long road. We will see. We're going to leave Agar right here just in case we can only get so far and then get into the castle. We're going to have to hope that Crag Hack doesn't get to us. I think that he's pretty tough. We're scared on him. Stay 5. Continue to purchase up this castle here. We need the Foundry, need the Mage Guild. I think we better push for Magi. I think we can, so I think we ought to. We do have enough right now. We can absolutely get our Titans now if we want to. And so I think we will. Barak is going to head in this direction as a scout. Maximus is going to head south immediately because the Titan resupply is coming very quickly. Castor is bugging out. Day 6. Before we do anything else, let's just get our upgraded Cloud Castle. We got Titans, baby. We've even got one in the wings just ready for us here. And with 7,000 gold income per day, we're doing okay. Doing okay. Multiple marketplaces as well, by the way. We're trading at a very nice clip. 8 non-precious resources for 1 precious resource. Good, good. Agar's waiting. Balagar did not get attacked. We're going to make sure that the troops make it home safe. If Balagar goes down, I'm sad. But I think that the troops being safe is more important than anything else. We're even going to leave the halflings because we know we have some swamp puppies here in the castle. That's probably one of my most favorite colloquial terms, by the way, for folks in the Deep South. I've actually heard somebody say that before. He was from, where was he from? I think he was from Florida. I think it was from Pensacola. And that was a phrase he used whenever he talked about alligators. The North American alligator. No, they're just swamp puppies. I thought that was very endearing. And I hope that gentleman's doing well. I really hope he's doing well. I find that I'm not the very best at keeping up with people. Not that I don't like people, because I really love people. I really do have a lot of love, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of building relationships and having people I care about. I'm going to take archery here. Orange player's been vanquished. I was right. That it was the end of their road. But I'm just bad at it. Picking up a phone to dial somebody is not that hard. It's really not that hard. Heck, just getting on your phone and sending a text message to someone, that's not hard. And still, in this weird way of thinking about it, I am always happy to, for some people, give you a kidney. Nobody's asked me for a kidney just yet, but I'm waiting for the day that somebody says, hey man, I really need one of your kidneys. And I say, okay. And I just give them a kidney. Like, there are people that I will give a kidney to that I haven't talked to in years. And there are people that, like, I talk to once every 6 months or so. And like, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm like, oh dude, you're getting married? Heck yeah, I'll be in your wedding. And that wouldn't feel weird to me. I wouldn't be like, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want somebody else? Because like, that's just the relationship that like we've built over time. Even though I'm not maintaining that like I would like. Bro, I got you, man. No problem. So I guess maybe that's part of the way that relationships evolve over time. No, actually, never mind. I disagree with that. I said it as maybe like a supposition that, oh, maybe that's how it is. And then I just say to myself immediately, no, I think people actually do a better job of keeping up with people than what I'm describing. I don't know. It is what it is. And yet I'm going to try and do better. Weird. I haven't thought about reaching out to certain people in a long time, but I am going to now, just because we've had this conversation. Just me and myself and you guys. Forces suffer a bitter defeat. Falgar abandoned your cause. My best friend and I only talk maybe once every 5 years or so, but him and his family are family to me. I was the best man at his wedding after not seeing him for over 10 years. Okay, I'm glad that I'm in good company. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I wonder how often that happens. And I wonder, I mean, you and your friend, I mean, does that work for you? Does that work for him? Obviously that works for him. If he's saying, yeah, dude, like, you're my best man. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a guy thing. Maybe that's a guy thing. We're in trouble. 33 war trolls. We are in trouble. I'd surely give both kidneys. Chris, hello. I've refreshed my shower. I've taken my refreshing shower. I feel refreshed. Glad you're back. Welcome back, Chris. Yeah, both your kidneys. That's a lot of kidneys. That's a lot of kidneys. 6 attack, 7 defense, 1 spell power, 2 knowledge. He's got all the spell points. We haven't seen him cast a spell just yet, but he certainly could. 39 orc chiefs. We're going to have to be a little bit considerate of that. I think we're going to immediately cast 1 blind. We have 2 blinds on us. We're going to cast 1 blind here. If the enemy doesn't have a dispel or a cure, we are in the driver's seat. Okay? I really think that. 62 centaurs, that's enough to contend with orc chiefs. That's enough to contend with a whole lot of these other kind of riffraff troops. And we can stay behind with just our ballista and this moat, and I think that we can do a whole ton of damage. If the war trolls are awake, then our hydras are very quickly going to take damage, and we will not last, and we will not win this fight. Again, it's going to come down to whether or not they have a cure or a dispel. We're going to find out very quickly. We're going to wait on the Minotaur Kings. We're going to wait on the gargoyles. I'm probably going to send the griffins out. The value of having the 6-speed gargoyles is that they are 6-speed creatures. Minotaur Kings are going to make sure that you always get the second chance to go anyway. And I say second chance because the hydras as the 3-speed or the 2-speed creature are always going to make me go second compared to the wolves. I think we'd actually rather have the gargoyles go out. No, griffins, you want the griffins to go out because they're going to go after these goblins. And so then they're not going to take any retaliation or some shots from the goblins. And we're still going to get to cover up these orc chiefs before anything else. So we're going to wait on the gargoyles, and we're waiting to see if there's a dispel or a cure. We're in trouble. We can kill 1 to 2 war trolls. My word. 7 defense versus 2 attack. Not happening. 5 attack skill here versus 12 defense skill here. We're doing like 60 to 70% damage. That's ugly. That's so bad. And that honestly makes me think that I should just kill whatever troops I can. 1 to 2. you can for sure kill one troll. You might as well for sure kill one troll. And then I wish that my Minotaur Kings had popped out already. I do. Dang. Okay. And I wish I'd stepped on the trolls before anything else had happened, so that my gargoyles could have gotten in there. Now we're gonna have to attack just so very, very slowly. We've got one more blind. We know that they're going to be able to mitigate that. A steel skin, though, are they going to do anything with that? That was a cure, not a dispel. A steel skin might be my very best next thing. 4 spell power. I think that we wait on the steel skin for when the Hydras are actually in combat. We take the Minotaur Kings out. Now, they're going to take a beating from these war trolls. You're going to take a beating from the war trolls one way or the other. Can't help it. And now at least we feel good about getting some damage off. When 14 Minotaur Kings can only kill 4 to 8 wolves, you know that you are overmatched. Absolutely overmatched. Let's do the best we can with what we have and hope that the Hydras can get in there. What just happened here is I gambled and lost. Right? I gambled that he wouldn't have a cure or a dispel, which quite frankly was pretty stupid. The only reason I did that is because he's a barbarian. He seems kind of fairly low leveled. All right, whatever. I shouldn't have gambled, but I gambled, and because I lost, then I didn't get my tactical opportunity to at least step on the trolls and do some damage. And that feels pretty bad. Feels pretty bad. We're just gonna kind of kill where we can. I'm still gonna wait on the steel skin. And then we're just gonna pick up this fight a little bit quicker because our choices don't matter nearly as much as I would like them to. Yeah. Oof. Okay, and now it's time to steel skin because it's going to last for a couple turns anyway. Kill what we can. And go. I almost am tempted to just hit Q and end the battle now. I don't think it'll matter. 404 damage to those gargoyles from those 33 war trolls. Ouch. Big ouch. Minotaur Kings, I'm going to lose one more. Yeah, 3 Hydras going down at a time. What are we doing with ourselves? Okay, and from here I'm just going to hit Q and end the battle. It's over. Should I surrender with Falagar, actually? 1,800 gold? This might be my last chance to run and to surrender out. I will surrender out for 1,800 gold. I think Falagar's a good enough hero. I think he is. Now, here's the thing. We just picked up Titans. We're going to grab our Titans. We're going to run back to this castle. We're going to kill Green's toughest hero. And if they build our dragon castle for us, if they build our dragon tower, we're going to be feeling A-okay. It'll be one of those times where it's like, oh man, that's terrible. How could that have happened? And then deep down, secretly inside, we're just kind of like giggling to ourselves. That's gonna be what happens here. We can make sure we get enough for 8 Titans, and we're gonna trade all these other resources. Pretty much all these other resources. It's time to just roll this map. We've got so much crystal. Let's go up to, we need 20k or 15k. Let's get to 15 now. That's only going to get us 3 more Titans. Do we have enough resources to get up one more bit? 24. We need 5k. We've only got... We might not even make it even if we traded for everything. So let's not be hasty. Let's not be hasty. And we're going to do it like this. We're going to go pick up this gold mine here, the haunted gold mine. We're going to leave the centaurs. We're going to take the Titans. Leave the boars. And so even if the enemy attacks boars and gargoyles for the ghosts, I'm not going to love it, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. That extra 1,000 gold should pay off pretty quickly. No losses. 600 experience. And this goes back to a gold mine. That's an extra 1,000 gold per day. That's going to help us get even more Titans. And then we're heading straight for dragons. They've now officially had one full day. They've had one full day. Do we see dragons? Do we see dragons? We do not see dragons. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know if I like that or not. If they had purchased dragons on day 1, they wouldn't have a lot of dragons, and then we would already have our dragon tower built. But I guess we can't have everything. I really guess we can't. +3. What are you doing? What are you doing? We saw Vesper up here and he decided not to pick up these artifacts. I'll tell you what, okay, the FHeroes2 AI is really, really good, and I'm very much a fan of it. I think that it feels like something has happened to where it's not playing as well as I remember it playing, and that makes me a little bit sad. I wonder if there's a difference between impossible difficulty on the single player scenarios and hard difficulty in the campaigns, because the campaigns at times felt like the AI was playing just as good just as good as a human? No, not just as good, but only 1 or 2 steps below it. And this feels like 3, 4, or 5 steps below it. Even though orange was on the ropes, even though orange was about to get put out anyway, I still think that you absolutely take the artifact. I see no reason why you don't pick up a +3 to attack. And the only reason why they wouldn't pick up this artifact is because it was, hey, you have to have a certain level of wisdom or you have to have a certain level of leadership in order to pick up the artifact. I doubt that both this Dragon Sword of Dominion and the +1 to morale was that case. And that just makes me feel weird about it. It makes me feel weird about it. As you are walking along a narrow path, a nearby bush suddenly bursts into flames. Before your eyes, the flames become the image of a beautiful woman. She holds out a magnificent sword to you. That's +3 attack. Okay. We're going to clean all this out. This is pretty fantastic here. With that being said, we're going to go on down in just a second. Castor is going to head over this way. Yeah, I want Barak to actually try and get that artifact in over to Maximus as quickly as we can. We're not purchasing any buildings at this time. We're saving up money for Titans. We can potentially end the game right here. Yellow is making that a little bit concerning. I think that we're going to give up this castle then in this case. I know we spent a lot of time in building it up back up. I think that we're going to wait at this time. We do still need to pick up Falagar. Just remember that. So we're going to do this. 2 more Titans. We're going to get 2 more Titans on the road. Falagar is a decent enough hero that if I let him wait overnight, I think that he'll be able to go north and he'll maybe be able to deal with that hero. Maybe not. After freeing a princess from a neighboring kingdom from the evil clutches of despicable slavers, she awards you with a Medal of Honor. That's +1 to our morale. And the +1 to the fort, just because why not? View resources. This is the first time we've gotten view resources. Looks like there's just a little bit up here. I do remember that there was one artifact in the upper left corner. So we're going to do that in just 1 second. And then otherwise, let's see. Yeah, let's get these artifacts back to our main hero where we can. And so that means that it'll be Castor that's going to drop off these troops, head north, and try and get that artifact back quicker. That's what we're going to do. I will purchase the troops in here, maybe, question mark. Just the rocks. 10 rocks is too many to give up. Everybody else just needs to stay except for Maximus, who is returning the triumphant hero. We did not pick up this tree of knowledge in the past, and we did that on purpose. We were like, oh, we'll be back. Ta-da! Here we are. We are back. That's going to cost us, what, 170 movement points. We will wait for tomorrow, and then we'll get a +1 to our level. Actually, how much experience is that? 4,300? Yeah, that's worth it. It's definitely worth it. We're going to take the expert archery here. Combat stats are so useful, and we took the archery saying if there's Titans on the map, that'll be the best thing for us. And here they are. We're going to defeat probably here, and then go in that direction. We're going to clean house, and we're going to accept these losses. 1 Magi seems reasonable in that case. Day 4, let's see what these guys do here. Castor's considering. Does he try and defeat Sabu? Oh, Castor is actually just trying to get this artifact back. The problem with maybe taking Falagar up north is that with his few Titans and his spells that he has, maybe he wins and maybe he doesn't. But if I lose 1 or 2 Titans, that feels pretty bad. That's the thinking on the one hand. On the other hand, this is the reason why we have a second hero, is so that we don't have to have our primary hero in one spot only. We know that Yellow's toughest hero is not him. Who is Yellow's toughest hero? Is Thundax. And so for that reason, I think I'm actually going to send Falagar up. 3 Titans plus all of his spells. I think that it's more so the spells that'll help win this for him than anything. So let's go and do that. Again, we're trying to save these artifacts. Heading down. Green's clearing out stuff. Interesting that they actually built up that other castle, by the way. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And the whole reason I'm just taking a look here on this fight is because I want to see what this enemy has. This is easily defeated with 1 Titan, no problem. And 6 attack, 4 defense, that's fine. That's okay. Let's kill what we can. In this case, it's going to be maybe 2 liches. There's 1. Actually, you know, I think I made a mistake. No, I was wondering for a second if this was the best move for me, because the liches can sometimes attack their own troops for you. in this case, it's not going to matter, but sometimes I can make that happen. The reason why I don't think it really matters is this. If you have a 2-hex creature, the liches will pick the side of the creature that will hurt themselves the less. I do know that they will for sure do that, and that is great, and I'm very happy for that. But otherwise, there's a chance that you can cheese the AI just a little bit and get them to hurt themselves. Castor is feeling pretty good. We're going to try and dive into the snow while Falagar goes north. Barak is going to go north into the snow. Castor is going to go east, avoiding Jacqueline. So going around, in this case, the long way, I think. And Maximus is going to defeat Crag Hack. I say defeat. I don't think that that is presumptuous of me. I really don't. I do not think that this is presumptuous of me at all. I think that with my 8 attack, 7 defense, this is a fight I can win. This is a fight I shall win. So let's do it. Nope, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. It might be true, but I don't want to believe it. Let's see. 33. 33. Does he have any disabling spells? 7 attack, 7 defense. 8 attack, 7 defense. We are basically evenly matched. I have blood morale versus his good luck, or his good morale, and we are even on luck. I do have more spell points. I definitely believe I have better spells. We know that he's got the cure. We know he's got the dispel. We know he has 20 spell points. So the blind is not really going to help. What could happen here, if I haste the rocks, they'll be able to get onto these war trolls before anybody else. And really, that just means that they could stop some aggression, because these wolves are not going to be able to stack on top of these war trolls. Look at this terrain. Last time we weren't able to step on these war trolls because there was just too much here, and they were able to go and crowd around the war trolls. We weren't able to reach them. But I think that we can actually haste the rocks, go here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that we can get both our rocks and our gargoyles onto these war trolls and just keep on them for a good long time. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to haste the rocks more than anything, and we're going to go from there. How are you streaming from the library? I thought you needed to be quiet there. They haven't kicked me out yet. Oh, yet. No, so they have these little kind of partitioned off rooms. Oh, interesting. A slow on the rocks. Very interesting. Not a bad choice on their part at all. And so it's more like a room that people will go to like study and stuff like that. And it's really pretty fine. It suits my needs perfectly. And the only thing is that you have to get here first, because it's first come, first serve basis. And so I'm a little bit worried that someday I'll say, hey everybody, guess what? I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at this time. See you there. And then I'll get to the library and somebody will already have the room booked. And like, I'll just have to be like, well, I guess I'm not streaming today. That's very possible. And if that happens, I'm going to be pretty sad, but it's possible. And so, so far I've been very, very lucky. Oh, cool. Like it's soundproofed. Yeah, I don't think it's particularly like amazingly soundproof, but I've had people in the room right next to me and I can't hear them at all. And they look to be pretty animated. So I'm guessing that I'm pretty good off as well. Okay, so we cast the haste last time. They immediately counteracted that. I really do like that decision from them. Did they cast a spell this turn, turn 2? They cast Bless on their Ogre Lords. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I haste the rocks, they're actually going to be able to get on the War Trolls right now. Is that the best thing for me? Or do I just straight up Bloodlust my Titans? Increase my attack skill even more. 23 attack versus 12 defense. We're already doing so much bonus damage, but we can actually do a little bit more. And then the Bloodlust is going to work against all creatures. I think that we just do the Bloodlust. I think we do the Bloodlust. I think we do. Yeah, 7 to 10. We did 10 there. That was excellent. We're going to wait here so the wolves don't get through next time. We're going to take a little bit more damage. 75 damage onto these Titans. That's even more damage. So be it. But yeah, if I had my wish list of things I would just love to have, boars are going to pull back if they survive, by the way. I would love to have a setup where I can actually stream from home. I would really like that. My internet's not fast enough and it never will be. They do not offer faster internet for my location. for my residential location. Very sad, but it is what it is. So we're just going to accept that, and it's going to be a dream, just a dream. We do not have a steel skin. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Tell you what I could do. No. I'm going to get one more shot off on these war trolls here. Going to bring their numbers down to 4. They're going to bless the ogres. The ogres are going to go right around me. I'm going to lose a titan in just a second. I'm now going to try and disable the ogre lords because they just wasted that. And then we're gonna do it like this. I was thinking about hasting my magi and then just moving them up to here. Actually a bad idea. Actually a terrible idea. Absolutely one of the worst choices I could have made, actually. And I'm glad I didn't make that. We're going to hold on to our spell again, because if they want to cure the ogre lords, they can, but they've messed up their turn order. And how can I make sure that this turn order is messed up even more? I think I attack the goblins now, because then their 5-speed war trolls are going to have to go. If this was against a player, I would have to attack the 4-speed goblins, because on the goblins' turn, then they just, cure. But because it's a computer, I think that I actually just kill the war trolls instead of these wolves. And then they're gonna do that now. I'm gonna get the chance with my magi to blind one more time. We're gonna attack these goblins, and then we're just gonna keep blinding these ogres. And now we've got them in the blind lock. Do we have enough spell points for that? 22 spell points left. Yep, we got you in the blind lock, buddy. Got you in the blind lock. So we're actually gonna attack here, get the max damage out of our titans once, blind, wait, and then we're gonna do a full salvo, because we're always gonna be faster. Buddy, we're always gonna be faster. And so right here, we hit them, we blind them, we skip it, 10 spell points left, break the blind, take them out, and then take them for a walk there, Charlie. Take them for a walk, Charlie. What's the name? What's that from? Oh, that's from something. Take them for a walk. It's like the idea, 5800 experience, the stealth shield of protection for the +2, lucky horseshoe for the +1 luck. Huge, massive fight. But that's from something where it's like, don't you just miss jazz bands where midway through they just say, hey, Charlie over there on the clarinet, take him for a walk. Yeah, my titans just took those enemies for a walk. So we turned a loss into a victory, and it wasn't that close. We didn't lose a single titan. If we'd lost one single titan, we would have felt, okay, successful, but not as successful. We're going to head back. We're going to resupply our spell points in just 1 second, and we're going to be golden. I think that might be somewhat game breaking. It depends on what these enemies do with these other castles. And there's still half of the map to be explored. Like that is not lost upon me. But taking out some of these major players for the enemies without them getting a chance to run goes so far, in my mind. In order to help me feel good about the way this map is going, we need a little bit more ore. We traded so much ore, and now we're in trouble. 2 ore per day. I want to set off on day 1. So for that reason, we're going to pick up ore now. We'll head back, spend a night overnight on day 7, and then on day 1 we're going to go. Okay. All of our heroes here. Falgar is still heading up, and we've decided that we can absolutely kill these Cyclopes. We are so slow, though. I think that we're going to just have 2 heroes work in tandem, not Castor. Castor needs to be available to get those artifacts over, but Barak is going to be the caddy. He's going to take the 2-speed Hydras, so that way the 6-speed Titans are unencumbered. And then when the time comes for the fight, we're going to put the Hydras back into the army at the last possible second. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take 1 step back here. Barak is going to be slower, but he's going to be able to reach before anything too bad happens. And then on to a new day. On to a new day. Yeah, map's going pretty well. Into the water, into the snow they go. And by the way, I don't know if there's any water on this map, but I tried to pick a map that does not have water. Yeah, pretty weird that I would pick a map called Vikings, thinking that it didn't have water, but that was what I did. You would think that there would be water wherever there are Vikings, but no, these are land-faring Vikings, I suppose. And the reason is because I wanted to see how the AI is working without a lot of water. We've had some other individuals say, well, I don't think that the AI is doing particularly good with the water logistics, going into boats, going out of boats. And to a certain degree, I can agree with that, that it's much more difficult for the AI to navigate effectively. And yet, I mean, I think it does a very serviceable, a very fine job. I just recognize that it could always do a little bit more. It feels like I'm kicking a great person down. It's almost like I'm saying, well, Mike Tyson, you know, the great boxer Mike Tyson. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good, but like, you know, he gets gassed a little too much, a little too easily. It's like, dude, you're talking about Mike freaking Tyson. Like, let up, like, give him some slack. He's amazing in his own right. I feel like I'm doing something similar here to the FHeroes2 AI, which probably not fair of me. I'll try and rein that in just a little bit. This YouTube video should be called The Two Towers because of the dragons to the west and the titans to the east. I think so. I think that's actually a great call. I think I will call it that. Usually I just have a very, very simple naming system for my maps, so that way they're fairly easy to find. I think, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna ask. I haven't asked, and it's time that I did. Do I need to spice up my thumbnails? Do I need to spice up my naming system? Do I need to make things a little more flashy? A little more zhuzhy? Because it's, you know what? My stuff, at first glance, I feel like, personally, this is what I think, before anybody else says anything, I think that they look a little bit dull, but a little bit more, I don't know. Professional is probably the wrong word. They're okay. They're all right. They do the job, right? Like, you get a good understanding when you look at my thumbnails on YouTube. You get a good understanding of what's going on. Proper. Yeah, they look proper. Thank you. That's the perfect word for it. They look proper. They look neat. They don't look like they're messy. They don't look like they're, you know, poorly done. You know, they don't look like they're low quality. But do they look exciting? But do they look exciting? Hard to say. And something makes me feel like maybe there's more I could do there. At some point, I should probably put out a community poll just to see what people think on that. And specifically, I'll give some options, right? Rather than just have people say, yeah, I do like them, or no, I don't like them. I'll say, well, here's the options, you know, option A, B, C, or D. And you tell me what you think about them. And just see what people think in general. Walt Disney had a very interesting quote that I really, really enjoyed. Walt Disney told someone, they were coming to him saying, Walt Disney, here are the 3 different options that we've picked for this particular ride, and the theming and the this and the that. Here's what we have in mind. Here's 3. And he says, okay, great. That's fantastic. I love that you've picked this for me. I will make a decision now. And he does. And then somebody else comes to Walt Disney and says, hey, Walt, here's what we're thinking. What do you think? And they only give him one choice. And Walt Disney pauses for a second and says, well, it's really hard to choose between only one option. And I think that there's some real value in a lot of practical applications with that. Almost, most assuredly, with kids. I'm finding that my son is to the point where, listen, am I bigger and faster and stronger and this and that? Yeah, I totally am. But I don't want to horse him around all the time. I don't want him to say, nope, you're going to do this and we're going to do it because I'm bigger, right? Number one, I think that that's just like, that's parenting that leaves a lot to be desired, because you're not getting somebody that's doing something because they want to. You're making somebody do something, and that's hard for child development. Okay, so what's the better way, rather than just physically making a child do something? Giving them choices, right? Even if they're 2 choices that you are totally okay with, giving them choices is probably the better way of raising kids. And I think it's something I've seen my sister do particularly well. Yeah, you didn't know I had a sister. I've mentioned my dad, my brothers, and this and that. Didn't know I had a sister, did you? And that's something I've seen her do very, very well, is give people choices. Give her kids choices especially. And it doesn't have to be something fantastic. It just has to be, well, do you want to go to bed in 5 minutes after a snack? Or do you want to go to bed, you know, in 15 minutes after we read a book together? And then you get buy-in because the kid is like, oh, this is what I would prefer. This is the choice that I want. And then because they have ownership and they made the choice, they are much more inclined to go along with it. And I think the people are very, very much the same way. As we get older, we always would prefer to have the choices. On the one hand, interesting little tidbit there. Too many choices is bad. For example, in supermarkets, they purposefully try and limit the amount of choices because if you have to choose between 35 different brands of ranch dressing, which ranch dressing is a big thing here in America. I say big thing and then all the Americans are gonna be like, what did he just say? Like, it's a thing, but I think it's more so a thing in America than it is overseas. If you have 35 choices of ranch dressing to choose from, something makes me think that you're gonna have a little bit of a block there. Paralysis choice in psychology, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I didn't know the name for it, but that is definitely a thing. So too many choices, bad. No choices, bad. You gotta give the right amount of choices. Where is this most relevant for Americans currently now? We have an election coming up. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying that we have two choices, and a lot of people don't feel very happy with either of those choices. And it's been a two-party system in America for so very, very long that you say to yourself, well, what can I do? You know, I mean, it feels for a lot of people like throwing away their vote. It doesn't feel very good. Yeah, Chris, your chat just came through. I don't know if you've been trying to chat before. Is this chat working? Yeah, I see you, Chris. A lot of people may not feel like it's they got much of a choice, or they feel like they're picking between two bad choices. Interesting, just interesting stuff to think about. Too many choices, not enough choices, choices you don't like, and how we as people get by with what we have, you know, how we deal with life. And our perceived exertion, our perceived satisfaction with the choices before us. Anyway, we're going to see in just one second. By the way, I'm purchasing lots and lots of heroes. Why am I purchasing lots and lots of heroes? It's really coming down to scouting. It's trying to make the best decisions, and it's picking up freebies. We are pushing into the snowy territory to the north, and I feel pretty good about that decision. I would hate to run into an enemy that's way too tough for me. We know that Thundax is still out there, for example. But we're trying to get troops to the front line. We're trying to flag every mine and dwelling. We got stuff to do here. Okay, yeah, we're having the election in the UK. I'm voting tomorrow, so Friday we're gonna have a new prime minister. Yeah, I knew that was coming up for the UK as well. I'm not very good at keeping up with, to me, their foreign politics, but I knew that one was coming up. And I think that just a little bit ago, I think that Steeson, who was here earlier in the chat, I think that maybe 2-3 weeks ago, he had his elections in his home country as well. So I don't know if, I don't know if that's common for lots of people to do their elections about the same time in the European area or not. Just interesting for me. I don't know if that they've tried to do that or if it just is happenstance. Funny, I haven't even heard about that in Canada. We keep pushing off our election. Who are your choices? Yeah, I don't actually know who the choices are. Is Boris still around? Maybe not. We're gonna have Maximus take this Dragon City. This is too rich. And I think, so it's gonna be however many sets of green dragons, one red dragon, one black dragon. I think that with all of my attack skill, this shouldn't be a problem. I may lose every other troop here, and that's okay. We should still win. You stand before the Dragon City, a place off limits to mere humans. Do you wish to violate this rule and challenge the dragons to a fight? I do. Oh no, that's fine. Let's see what spells are going to be the most useful for us. Let's see. I think that the Titans are going to take a lot of attention. Can we kill one whole black dragon at a time? Not necessarily. Let's just do the Dragon Slayer. That's going to be +6 attack. And that will ensure that we kill one black dragon here. Yep, Dragon Slayer. Great minds think alike. Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Is it is it worth it to have the gargoyles attack and then have these green dragons flambe themselves? I don't think so. I think we're just going to skip, probably lose one magi at some point. It'll be what it is. 168 damage onto that dragon. We actually can kill him there, and then I think that all these other dragons are going to go onto the titans, and that'll be fine for me because we're not going to lose a titan here. Yeah, 266 hit points. Yeah. Rishi Sunak for the Conservatives, Keir Starmer for the Labour Party. I'll be voting Labour. The Conservatives have had 14 years. It's time for a change. You know, I think that there's really something to be said about that. About, you know, not having one political party in power all the time, like having a bit of a switch. I do think that there's some real value in that for pretty much every nation. Having defeated the dragon champions, the city's leaders agree to supply some dragons to your army for a price. Do you wish to recruit the dragons? I do, but I'm gonna have to move some troops around. Probably just get Castor to help me out. Take some of these guys off my hands, probably the griffins, as he hands over these artifacts. Yes, yes, and we're gonna get rid of the Everhot Lava Rock because I just don't care. We're going to get rid of the ammo cart. 24 shots. It might be useful. Very, very low chance, but we're going to see it. Obsessive Repulsive. FixFox in the house. What's up, my man, with your custom made chat emotes? My guy. Change is definitely a necessary good. Yeah, I agree with that, Rice Ruin. Everyone, real quick, I just want to call out Obsessive Repulsive is in the chat. I'm a big fan of him. He is an excellent Heroes of Might and Magic player. He is an excellent person. Recently, he just completed here on Twitch his run of all of the NES games in the entire NES catalog, and it was fantastic. It was a great playthrough of all of them. I admit I only saw probably 1% of all of it. I just caught the final stream on the final day where he completed The Legend of Zelda Part 2. But an excellent, engaging type of person. Obsessive Repulsive, big fan of you. And for those of you who like Heroes, which is everybody here, he did a challenge in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 that I love so very much. He did the Worthless Hero run. And Obsessive Repulsive, I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell everybody in the chat what that run was about. But the Worthless Hero run was my personal favorite. So big fan of mine. I consider him a friend to me in the channel. So Obsessive Repulsive, everybody. Big fan. We're going to have Maximus go north here. Change is definitely good. This one's for you. Dude, wow. Sorceresses and the Warlocks doing the head shake after they lose a troop. That's excellent. Sup, Obsessive. Plus, I'm a centrist left-wing kind of person, and Conservatives are more right-leaning. What's up, Rise? Thanks for the shout-out, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Anytime. Anytime. I got nothing but good things to say about you. So we're not going to actually have these troops join. We're just going to let them do what they do. Brock is still heading to the north. Maybe just see if there's anything extra over here. And Falagar, you know what? We do like the 2-hero approach. He's got 3 titans. He's not that strong, but I think that we're going to use him to go off into the snowy waste and just see if we can find something interesting, something fun. And we do have additional titans riding at his back. So it's day 6. Before the end of the week, we must. I don't say we should or we can. I think that we must pick up dragons. I think that it would be an absolute waste and a misplay not to pick up some dragons at our primary castle. For those of you who are just joining, this is the 2 towers. We have the Atlanteum Warlock Castle here, and we have Big Oak, the Wizard Castle here. So to the west of the map and to the east of the map, we have the 2 towers, and we are defeating Vikings every day. By the way, how many goblin huts are we up to on the map? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I've probably missed 1 or 2, 16. There's at least 16, so some pretty excellent stuff if you're a barbarian player. We, of course, rolled the Warlock, but I think that that's going to work out just fine for us. I think that the very worst thing we could have rolled in this map, very worst thing probably would have been the Knight faction, actually. The very worst thing would have been the Knight faction, because you get none of the bonuses of the Warlocks or Wizards. You get none of the mid-game snowball ability that you get from the Sorceresses and the Necromancers, and you don't even get to use all of the Goblin Huts and all of these Barbarian Castles that are littered throughout this map. So, awful lot of interesting things. It seems like we may have had one very bad choice that we could have taken, and we did not, thankfully, roll that bad choice. We're gonna pick up our green tower here. After all that talking, it was a fear to me that I might have also missed it. Don't worry. You're not the only ones who are thinking to yourselves, is Fixed Fox going to mess this up or not? You're totally right. Do you stream Obsessive Repulsive? What kind of stuff? I haven't seen your videos, but I'll sure be looking them up. Idea for collaboration with Fix, doing a commentator vid for one of Obsessive's games. Oh, my Fix Fox shoutcasts. Maybe he shoutcasts one of my games. Maybe I shoutcast one of his games. Maybe we play together, you know, as a team, not against each other. I'm not looking to play against each other yet. And then, so the Worthless Hero run was basically no spells, no XP, no skill improvement from the map. Have to be Sorceress or Wizard, no artifacts. And there was an order of skills you had to follow to basically always take the worst skill. For example, if you had the choice between Leadership and Mysticism, you had to take Mysticism. If you had the choice between, like, I think Wisdom actually counted as one of the worst skills because you could choose not to use the spells. I think so. Yeah. And then Obsessive Repulsive, why would you do that to yourself? Yeah, it does. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 finished the NES A to Z. Now he's doing the Sierra Centennial, so 100-ish Sierra games. And yep, yeah, I think you are in for a nightmare. You are absolutely in for a nightmare. All of the Centennial games, I'll bet you that they're fun. I'll bet you that they're good. It's gonna be a great time. But some of those old school games have a ridiculously high difficulty curve. To this day, there's some games that I say to myself, no, I can't beat it, and I never will. Never will. For example, the one that comes to mind immediately is actually The Lion King. And I forget what game console that was on. Was that NES? I think that was The Lion King on NES was probably one of the most ridiculously hard games I've ever played in my life. And I could barely even get past one level. Oh my gosh. Folks, there's an obelisk. This is the first time we've seen an obelisk on this map, and we just saw it right there. That is interesting. I don't know why Maximus is running away from Thundax. We should have beat him. We should have just taken him out right there. I just messed up. And I think, if I'm right, we know that it's snow to the north, and then a gazebo here. I think it might be this gazebo right there. No, maybe not. There's a well, and there's a gazebo. Well, gazebo. It's right about in here. We're gonna have Barack go and start digging, because why not? Yeah, on YouTube. The one with Simba jumping on giraffe heads. Yeah, that's the exact one. You know what I'm talking about. One of my favorite all-time games is the R-Type. Stupidly hard, but I still love it. I don't know R-Type. Is that like a platformer game? Platformers used to be ridiculously tough. Is that a platformer like that Lion King game was? Is it like RPG type? Interested to know. Let's see. Gonna give over this artifact here, move over a couple of these extras here. You think you've been shouting at my wife? Yeah, you've probably been shouting at my wife. That's okay. She appreciates the shout out, I'm sure. Pretty soon she's gonna be like, who keeps talking to me? She's like, I was just signing up because I want to see you play, honey. I don't actually want to talk to people. I don't know, maybe she does. I shouldn't speak for her. I shall not speak for her. Probably the worst thing I could do is try to speak for my wife. No, it's a shoot 'em up. That's going to be for the R-Type. Wait, is that the one where you have like a quick time event, kind of like Red Dead Redemption did it, where like everything slows down and so you can like line up your shots? Is that R-Type? Side scroller shoot 'em up. I'll have to take a look. Because I feel like I've heard of that or seen it. Like, you're unlocking some deep ingrained memory in me. But I'm not sure. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna have Falagar step on these stone liths, and he's gonna come back just in case there's an enemy on the other side. Looks like there's not, but just in case there is, I don't want somebody to come through and surprise me. Nostalgia, now I'm missing Duck Hunt and Doom. I was just mentioning Duck Hunt on Obsessive Repulsive's most recent stream as well, actually, as far as all the different ones. Yeah, and in the chat, Obsessive Repulsive just linked the Worthless Hero run. Go check it out. I'm a huge fan of him. Yeah, if you spend more time watching him than me, that does not hurt my feelings. Go for it. He's an excellent guy. Does some excellent stuff. I'm always very entertained by what he does, so go check it out, please. And lots of Cyclops, lots of the War Trolls, lots of, or the Horde of the Orc Chiefs, lots of Ogre Lords. There's some good stuff here. We're going to split. We're going to split these gargoyles. We're going to split the Titans by getting rid of the gargoyles. There are people that will not like that decision from me. But I think that this is the way that I want to fight this fight, just for the flexibility more than anything. We know Thundax is tough. We don't think he's that tough. Obsessive Repulsive, thank you, man. Nah, I love your videos. Best and most entertaining Heroes of Might and Magic 2 streamer by far. That is high praise. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that so very much. Remember, if we need to run, we sure can. Okay. And in fact, because we've got so many Titans to the eastern half of the map in the snow, a run or a strategic surrender here might actually be good to help us consolidate our troops better. We'll take a look. We'll see what we got here. It's going to be 30 Cyclops, 22 Cyclops, 30 of the War Trolls, 5 of the Power Liches. Weird that you would ruin your morale so much. Poor morale. We're going to try and keep these Liches alive. I do not want to fight him again without those Liches. The fact that he's going to hurt himself that bad is awesome. It's awesome. And so 9 attack, 5 defense, 4 spell power, 4 knowledge against my 12 attack, 9 defense, 3 spell power, 5 knowledge, but my blood morale. I don't think that this is actually as big of a loss as the AI thought it was. Now, 24 spell points left. He's got some spell points. I'm guessing he's going to have a cure or a dispel. I think what I'm going to do is this. FixFox narrates a game of Heroes of Might and Magic 2 like a world chess narrator. That is a huge compliment. That's a huge compliment. Yeah, I actually do enjoy watching chess. I really do. That's a really good way of putting it. I like the way the chess narrators work, so that is a huge compliment. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and let Thundax cast his spell. I'm going to assume that War Trolls are going to attack anybody but the Magi. Why would they attack the Magi? Doesn't make any sense. If they cast their spell, and it's not a haste, which, by the way, a haste is bad here, because it would mean the Cyclops get to go, I can then blind after they cast any other spell. And then I'm ahead on the blinds. Alternatively, I can do a nifty trick here where I can blind the Cyclops if I really don't want them to move, and if I really think he's going to dispel or cure, I can blind them and then attack them, and then they will lose their turn without any chance of dispelling or curing. I think that we must do that. I think that knowing that he could haste once it gets to the War Troll's turn, and knowing that this 22 Cyclops is too powerful for me to deal with, and I have to find a way to break up this fight. I need to find a way to isolate these fights. That is the only surefire way I can do that, and it's not going to really cost me anything. It's going to cost me 6 spell points a turn to do that. I've got 47 spell points. I can do that for long enough that it's going to do just fine for me. So if you look at the turn order, the Cyclops are now nowhere to be found. We break the blind ourselves. We kill 1 to 2 here. We kill more because of the good luck. I'm very happy for that. And then they do not get their turn again this round of combat, but they cannot dispel them, they cannot cure them, and then we just have to deal with War Trolls and Orc Chiefs and the damage that they will do. I like the way this is working out. So with that being said, let's continue on. While he plays the game too, absolute legend. Dude, that's really nice. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, somebody, it might have been you, it was somebody the other day, it was in the Mineral Wars game. They said something like, can we just appreciate that FixFox hasn't done a single reload? And it just made me happy. So I appreciate that very, very much. I love Heroes of Might and Magic, and I'm to the point where if I'm not very good at it, I will work to get better at it. I will do the work to be really good at this game just so I can be better. In part for me and in part for you guys. That makes me happy, and it's worth my time to do that. It's worth my time to be better. So I'll try and make sure that we are tip-top, top form, etc., etc., etc. I think that 17 Cyclops, we're going to continue to keep the Minotaur Kings here. We're going to, should we peel off with the Red Dragons? We're going to take a lot of damage with these Ogre Lords if we try and peel off. I think that we're going to avoid that. I think we're just going to stick on the War Trolls now, deal with them, and just take the damage. We're down to 40 hit points on these Titans, and we're just going to go from there. It's nice having a game of Heroes of Might and Magic in English. The Heroes of Might and Magic series is very big in Russia and Eastern Europe on Twitch. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. The fact, the face that you are, or the fact, I assume it's fact, that you are as good as you are without saving is incredible. I appreciate that. Huge praise. Huge praise. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to again do the blind trick. We're still putting damage onto these Cyclopes. Even though they're steel skinned, we're still putting damage onto them, and they are not attacking. Again, if we need to run from this fight and surrender, we will. But wow, this is feeling pretty good. This is feeling doable. I think that the War Trolls will attack the Red Dragons if given the chance. And so the Minotaur Kings might as well stay stuck here. And then I'm going to still continue to defeat 11 to 17 of these Orc Chiefs every chance I get. 147 hit points here. 8 down to 4. We're doing great. Still have 2 Titans, down to 1 Titan. 244 hit points left. So, blind again. Still continuing to rough these guys up. And you know that the fight has turned in my favor when the Ogre Lords who originally went into a defensive position start to come for me. You know that I've turned the tide in a meaningful way. Now, I am terrified of these Ogre Lords, and in fact, I'm going to make sure that I do not lose another Titan. I may lose 1 Dragon in just a moment, but I'm going to make sure I don't lose any of these Titans. We are going to plan on running. Even if we could defeat this fight and we have like 1 Titan left, I would rather save the Titans and use that juice later to slingshot me in the front with victory. Mind you, so has chess. There's something about Russia and Eastern Europe. They love strategy games. Another game that is big there is Supreme Commander. Never heard about Supreme Commander, but yeah, overseas, the strategy games are big, and I'm all for it. I'm so very, very here for it. Rather than kill Ogre Lords, 300 hit points. I want to kill as many of these Orc Chieftains as possible, knowing that we're probably going to fight this fight twice. Okay, Red Dragons are going to come down. I don't think that the Ogre Lords are going to come back for the Dragons. If they do, though, that just means that we have more time to fire away with the Titans. We don't. That's 214 damage, 49 hit points, 244. Now is the time that we cast a spell, and we are going to feel pretty darn good about this fight. It's a time where we are running away, right? This is tactical. We're doing this on purpose. We're going to Lightning Bolt for 75 damage. We're going to throw 1 Lightning Bolt here and kill 1 more Cyclops. 1 more Cyclops, and then we are going to surrender. 6,000 gold, that's so expensive. Yeah, it could have been way more expensive because we've got the advanced diplomacy, and so we are down to only 30% of the total cost of the troops in the army to surrender. And that feels so good. That is 30%. Diplo for the win, Rise to Ruin, you got it. You totally got it. And so being able to kill 30 War Trolls and 54 Orc Chiefs and 10 Cyclops in exchange basically for 6,000 gold and 1 Titan is huge. I've got no regrets about anything that just happened. Maximus departs in shame. It would be very interesting if there was some kind of mechanic where if you run from battles or you surrender from battles that you have like a permanent or temporary debuff. I think that would be very interesting. I don't think it has a place in FHeroes2 just to like keep the game preserved in the way that it originally was. And yet, just interesting things to think about. Okay, I thought that this was a castle. It's not, but this is where I do want to rehire my hero. We're 5 ore away. I am so rich. I'm just going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. So many marketplaces. We're fine. We're fine. And you have to have the castle in order to get the heroes back. Level 16 with 10 artifacts and 3 Titans plus 2 dragons. What do you think? What do you think? Shame debuff? Yeah. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm saying, and that's why I think it could be. Again, should be might be a little bit strong, but certainly could be. Certainly could be. I'm gonna move over all these troops. I don't think I really need the kinetic pendant. Titans are more or less immune to that anyway, so I don't think that we really need that artifact. I'm hoping to pick up some really nice ones from JoJosh in just a minute or two. And then let's have Croto do the same thing because he's got 3 more Titans. I just messed up. Croto's out of movement points, and there's a part of me that wants to stay here overnight in my Mage Guild, but the problem is that there's no more Mage Guild. We need that still. Maximus departs with a smirky grin. When your enemy is smiling, they know your weakness, the art of war. That is the kind of quote that I live for. Yes, and that is perfect for me. I like that a lot. That's good. We're going to take the fastest troops, 6-speed creatures, stuff like that, and the rocks. What are those caves there? Great question. We've actually not really seen these before. So these demon caves, I'm gonna have Croto go and visit these, much to my chagrin and much to his probable eventual death. We're gonna pull back here, try and find that ultimate artifact. But I'll show you in just one second. There's a chance that they've already been used. We fought this demon cave at the very beginning of this game, but there's a chance that these ones have not been taken. If they have not been taken, I'll just let the story tell itself. Otherwise, I'll tell you in just one second. There's a huge cache of resources here. My word, this is kind of the thing that I'm talking about. This feels like something that the AI should have already taken advantage of. And the fact that they didn't weirds me out. Okay, we are gonna go chase down Thundax because he still has that negative morale. We're gonna go through these stone liths. Maximus only has 17 spell points left. That's okay, we just got 4 times stronger. Literally 4 times stronger. Croto's gonna come on in here. Let's see if the demon cave has been taken. The entrance to the cave is dark, and a foul, sulfurous smell issues from the cave's mouth. Do you enter? Yes, I do. Except for evidence of a terrible battle, the cave is empty. And I'm guessing that this one is too. We're just gonna let Falagar show us, yes or no. Except for the evidence of the terrible battle, it's empty. Okay, so the demon cave gives you the choice. It's like a 50-50 dice roll. If you decide when you come upon a demon, he says that he will give you your life back for free if you defeat him, and you have a 50-50 chance you just defeat him, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you defeat him, you get some gold and like an artifact or something like that. If you lose, he will give you the option to buy your hero's life back for 2,500 gold. If you choose not to pay that 2,500 gold, your hero just dies and disappears from the face of the map. Pretty bad. Or instead of risking it on a 50-50 dice roll, you can choose to fight the demon's servants. And it's usually, in this most recent instance, it was like 5 sets of 2 on the earth elementals that we had to defeat, and then you get 2,500 gold or something like that. It's not too bad. It's all right. It's all right. So, a very interesting adventure map object, and there's not one quite like it in any other version of Heroes Might and Magic that I have found. Perhaps there is, and I just don't know about it, but it's the only one that I have found quite like it. Are all the obelisks in the north? They are. Look at this. There's not one single obelisk that has been in dirt. None. This was the very first obelisk we picked up. Oh, one of them is. No, not that one. This one. Very first obelisk we picked up, and then they're all in the north, which would make you think that the AI would have a chance to get to them before me, but luckily it spawned in a place that suits me better than him. So, we are out of gold? No, we're out of space. Out of space. We're gonna get rid of the halflings. Instead taking the orc chiefs. I just don't want the power liches to go down, or the liches to go down. I want to keep those guys alive. On to a new day. I see. I thought it might have been the entrance to the underworld like in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. No, but Steeson, who was here not too long ago, this is acceptable. Steeson, who was here earlier in the map, green player's been vanquished. I didn't even realize that green was still around. My bad. Steeson indicated that there's going to be some new mechanic available in the FHeroes2 campaign. He teased it by indicating that it might be similar to Heroes of Might and Magic 4 and the transition from 3 to 4, if you remember that opening cinematic. And I don't know how much more I can, could, or should say on the matter, so I will stop talking about it immediately. Because Steeson is a wonderful person, and if he accidentally let the cat out of the bag, I would feel bad about then parroting what he said. So I don't think that that's the case. He's a pretty smart character, but just in case. Okay. I wonder if it's better reward if you take the 50-50 and fight the demon instead. I have no idea. That is a great question, though. I think I'm going to have to... I thought I did. I thought I checked in that. No digging. Never mind. No digging. No digging. No digging? Digging, okay. Okay. Yeah, over here. Yeah, but that's not where I think it is. I'll have to do some checking in on that, because that's a very interesting point. If you do the 50-50 risk, you've got more skin in the game. Well, do you have more skin in the game? I think you have more skin in the game. And so, therefore, it would make sense to me that your reward would be higher. It's possible. We'll have to do some digging to find out. It's the kind of thing that I would hope would be somewhere on like a wiki somewhere. But unfortunately, a lot of the wikis are very, very, very complete They're very, very good, but they do miss some of those weird niche type of situations. And I don't blame them for that. I'm very grateful for all the people that have been working on Heroes of Might and Magic nonstop for 20 plus years, and putting together Wikipedia type stuff, and I'm floored. Very, very, very impressed with all the work that's gone into keeping Heroes up and running. So keeping it up and running, helping provide resources for determined players. How about that? That's probably the best way of saying that. Agar's picking up ore and crystal. Barak should now be able to dig. Nothing. Where could it be? Dawn is going to dig. Nothing. Where could it be? Well, Thundax is coming down south. That's where he could be. Sabu is back. I think that we did not defeat him before. He ran away before Falagar was able to catch up to him. Rather than take the castle, we're going to chase Thundax. We are now out of the snow, and so he had the benefit on snow of having the pathfinding. He no longer has that pathfinding. We do have the benefit of logistics and the true compass, so we are good to go. Interesting. Remember how I moved all these artifacts before? It looks like they have moved back after I rehired Maximus. That's interesting. We've determined earlier that it's most correct play to put the best artifacts to the bottom right. So that way, if an enemy takes you, if they don't have enough slots to get your artifacts, then they miss out on a few. So I think that we're going to end up giving up Avalon. And so Croto is going to dive through, do some exploring. And Baron Samedi, as he is known in Ghost Planet, otherwise known as Flint, will trap size from west to east through the snow. You can dig one to the left of Dawn, I believe. I think you're right. I do believe you're right. Digging okay? Yeah, you're right. I thought that it looked like a hill, and so I kind of ignored it for a second, but you're definitely right. Good eye. Good eye. Because I would have missed that. Speaking of which, let's just do that now. Let's have Barak just go down one. Let's have Dawn go over. By the way, it's quite possible that the artifact is right here instead of over here. It could be on the other side of the tree line. If I've messed that up, I've messed that up, and we're going to find out later. And we'll be sad. But otherwise, we'll just find a really cheeky artifact. It's so nice not knowing that there's an ultimate artifact until this late in the game, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh boy, I'll take that for free. And we shall. We shall. We've got not full spell points, 20 out of 50, but that's enough for 3 blinds. We should win this fight. The enemy has fled. Let's try and keep them from fleeing. Yeah, I feel bad for Thundax. He's a good hero. He's a really good hero, but he just doesn't have the firepower to deal with me, and we already took him out the knees. I'm going to wait to cast a spell. I'm going to let him cast the very first spell. Whatever spell he wants to cast, I'm going to counteract it or counter punch. In this case, it's going to be the blind. Why not? Why not? Let's just do that. And knowing that we're now ahead of the game, I think that we're just going to try and keep Cyclops blinded as long as we can. 134 damage. We got 116 left on these red dragons. I'm going to try and kill full stacks wherever I can. Again, when we're trying to keep the enemy from running, it's very, very important to try and keep them from running. Screw those Cyclops in particular. Yeah, that is my new favorite saying, by the way. Like, I find myself saying things like that in my personal life. And my wife is like, why are you saying that? I'm like, it's just something that people said in chat the other day. I don't know. So if you ever wonder, like, oh man, do I mean anything to Fix Fox? The answer is yes. You do. You do. Every single one of you. So thank you. 11 Cyclops. We should be able to eliminate them right now. You better believe we're going to eliminate them right now. We're going to skip on everybody and then do one more full shot here. Blessing these 4 here. So with the good luck and the max damage, 24 down to 4. Didn't have a chance. 4,100 experience and no losses. The enemy does not get to run. Black Pearl, +2 to knowledge and +2 to spell power. Lightning Helm, half damage from the lightning spells. Elemental Ring, I am going to throw that away because it looks like the one ring from Lord of the Rings. And we don't want any trouble. Don't want any trouble. Expert Ballistics, not really going to help us here. Diplomacy might even help us more. So we're going to take that at this time. We are full on artifacts. We probably missed out on 1 or 2. But we're feeling A-okay. Level 17 Knight. Maybe the best turning point in this whole scenario was this basic wisdom. I know that we haven't used a lot of those 3rd level spells, but seeing that on Maximus the Knight and deciding to go for a knight instead of a wizard a sorceress, a necromancer, a warlock. I think that that's the best decision we could have made, especially knowing how these two towers have worked out for us. So very happy with the way this map has turned out. I feel like I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup at this point. I know that there's, again, still more map to be played, much more to be done. But as we explore more, I think that we're finding more opportunities for us to just overwhelm our opponents. So carrying on very, very much. Are you going to try and find the treasure? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to try and find that ultimate artifact, 1000%. From Obsessive Repulsive. See Elliot, hey everyone, sorry I'm like 4 hours late, had to take the fur baby to the emergency vet. How's the map coming along? Sir, it's coming along very, very well. Elliot, very happy to see you. Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. Dude, how the heck is your fur baby? Number one, what is your fur baby? And number two, how are they? Emergency vet? That sounds not good at all. What's going on? Picking up more of these obelisks. We might pick up enough obelisks that we don't even need to really do much else. A wiener dog? Oh, love wiener dogs. Love wiener dogs. I had a friend that I had a friend, and that was his big thing. His dream was to roll around in a field with a flock full of wiener dogs. That may not be the correct term, a flock of wiener dogs, but that was the way he put it. Maximus is heading up to try and head off Sabu. I think we shall be successful. Croto will run for his life in whatever way he seems to feel best doing. Yikes, hope the fur baby's okay. Had teeth extraction procedure yesterday, was having reaction issues to the antibiotic, but was able to get her on some different ones. Good. And so good on you for being the kind of owner that recognized that there was a problem that you immediately needed to take care of, because yeah, that sounds like that could have been way worse the longer you waited. So I'm very, very glad that you got that taken care of. Excellent. Before you appears a levitating glass case with a scroll perched upon a bed of crimson velvet. At your touch, the lid opens and the scroll floats into your awaiting hands. That's +2 to knowledge. I'm biased, but wiener dogs are so good. They are so good. We all agree. Chat so far is 100 out of 100. We agree that wiener dogs are awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so for the first time, I've had auto mod pop up. It says, held a message for reason. Sex-based terms. Allow will post it to chat. Rise to ruin. Did you know that you did a sex-based term? I'm going to allow this one. There it is for everyone to see. I didn't know that I've never seen auto mod work. I saw somebody was trying to be, yeah, it's not a sexy stream because of, yeah, one of those. But yeah, I've never, we had our first, I don't know, chat bot try and hijack the stream earlier, and I just ignored it. So a lot of firsts for me today, and that's okay. Sabu's heading back. Yellow is still in the snow, but they're being a little bit more aggressive than I would like. But it wasn't bad at all. Rolling sausage party in the grass. As a dog owner and lover, I can honestly say I don't know what a wiener dog is. Some sort of American breed? I'll let somebody else describe the wiener dog for you. German? Wouldn't that make it Weiner? Weiner dog? I don't know. That was bad. I apologize. I apologize. Okay. Catching up to Sabu. I'd really like to keep Ariel from coming out. I'm just going to send another hero north to deal with them. Agar, unfortunately, has run his course. He's just going to need to be dismissed. Big Oak is going to be where we hire a new hero. Alamar is back, level 4. Buddy, good to see you. Good to see you. And with 6 Titans, a couple of rocks, a couple of these other troops, we're feeling pretty good about Alamar's ability to defeat some bad guys. And he shall totally defeat some bad guys. So let's let him go and try to deal with Ariel. It's going to be several turns before he can make combat with her, but he will as soon as he can. Interesting that the AI never defeated these enemies or some of these other ones. Always just interesting to see where they do or don't go. Digging okay. Wait, Dawn can dig there? No digging. We'll dig right here instead. Croto picking up the gems for +1. Balagar with his very slow Hydras. I can't imagine sending Hydras through the snow. I got a feeling that they would just start sleeping partway through because of the way that works. I would think so. I would think so. Let's see. German breed. Oh, no way. I'm not getting auto-modded again. I have a Jack. Rise Truant says he's not getting auto-modded again. Good, I'm for it. I have a Jack Russell Lakeland Cross. Chris does. I love Jack Russell Terrier. Like Jack Russell Terrier? Because I like Jack Russell Terriers for sure. I assume that that's the same one. Dachshund dogs are short, a long breed of dogs that were originally bred to hunt, and unalive badgers, weasels, etc. Yep, and they're very, very good at it. Even the ones that are today, even if they've had years of domestication, they're still doing great. Much better description. Corgis are the favorite in the Fixed Fox house. They actually are. They are totally the favorite. My in-laws have had corgis for as long as I've been around, and I've been around with my wife for several years. And when they lost a few corgis a little while back, they have since replaced that corgi. Replaced is the wrong word. You can't replace an animal, but they got a new dog. That after the grieving was over, after they said, you know what, we're ready for a new dog, they went on and did that. So, and then Jack Russell's excellent doggos, can't go wrong with the Jackie. Corgi is the love potato. Yeah, you better believe it. Corgis are just German Shepherds with short legs. Wow. That is a very interesting take, and I'm all for it. By the way, we just uncovered the ultimate shield. Congratulations. After spending many hours digging here, you have uncovered the ultimate shield. That's going to be +6 to our attack and +6 to our defense skill. Dawn is feeling pretty proud of herself. Well done, Dawn. Well done, Dawn. And we're going to trade over the artifacts and trade over the 6-speed creatures so that Barak can then take the prize up north to somewhere where we can actually fight with it. Because what good is an ultimate artifact if you don't fight with it? If a Dachshund and a German Shepherd got together, you get a Corgi. I'm not good at math, but that seems to work out in my calculations. So yeah, sure. Yeah, totally. I'm at a loss. We got Sabu here. We got other heroes here. I think that this is just going to get messy for a little while. We're going to have Castor go south. Try and pick up that ultimate shield. Because with his one red dragon, I think I'm not going to forget. I don't think I'm going to forget to keep him alive. A Bassinge rescue, very much like a Dachshund, but less useful and more princess-like. Oh, if you're going to tell on me for the silly stuff that I do, then I'm definitely telling your cute little dog that you've called them useless. I will let them know. More princess-like. That's perfect, actually. You know, I don't actually know if more people prefer like big dogs, like working dogs, or if they prefer the little dogs, little animals, you know, stuff that they can still enjoy and love, but also they don't take a lot of use, kind of a deal. I don't know. I imagine that just depends on everybody's personal preference, but between big animals and small animals, there's definitely a big division in the community as to which is better. We're going to cast Bless on the Titans. We're going to do so much damage. We're not going to worry about, oh my gosh, Bless and good luck from 5 Titans. Titans did 1,200 damage. 5 Titans did 1,200 damage. And I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. Why does that happen? It's because of the multiplicative damage on top of multiplicative damage. When you're doing 10% bonus damage for every point of attack over defense, 27 attack versus 10 defense, that's 17 bonus attack over the defense. That's 170% bonus damage. And then you times that by 2. And that's how 5 Titans end up doing 1,200 points of damage. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Feeling great. By the way, at this point, I don't even care what Sabu has. 6 attack, 5 defense, it's not even a problem. Not even a problem. We will deal with this in short order. Probably deal with the wolves next turn with our 6-speed creature. They're orcs, so long as 24 orcs stay alive, they're going to make sure that our 6-speed creatures go first next turn anyway. So we're going to have probably these 5 Titans deal with the 42 wolves and go from there. Do not kill 24 orcs. How many did we just kill? We just killed 6? Oh, that's fine. Even if we got good luck, we'd be fine. She tried to eat a bee and got stung. Now she sprints home every time she sees a fly or mosquito. That's adorable, by the way. That is so cute. and I have no regrets about it. I will tell you and any cute animal that they're cute. I'm kind of a I'm like a little bit tall, and I'm kind of a bigger guy. I'm kind of a bigger guy, right? And I think that I fit the stereotype of a little scary until you get to know him, and then you realize, oh, he's just like a big teddy bear kind of a guy. That's pretty much me. So I will let cute animals know that they're cute, and I will always treat the little animals like princesses. No problem. Okay, Real Fix Fox, everyone else, it's almost midnight there, time for bed. Thanks for the stream. Thanks, Chris, so much for being here. Sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much. She's absolutely the best. Her name is Sweet Pea, too innocent for us. Aw, that's great. Big teddy bear, thanks, dear. Everybody's saying goodnight. Get some sleep. Yeah, get some sleep. You're no good to us dead. Or half asleep, either way. We're probably not going to be able to keep Sabu from running. I don't think I even really care. I'm just going to keep all my troops alive. Blind on the rocks. That's not going to do it for you. 60, 27, 4, 0. 6,000 experience for free. And no Titans lost. Picking up the additional little bit here, a little bit there. And they did me a favor, actually. Their armies were split, and I was worried about getting everybody. They've kind of corralled themselves. Talking about dogs, some kind of herding animal was involved in making sure that everybody gets to be in the same room. And so I get to drop my tactical nuke on everybody all at once. That's what we're trying to do. I will. I had a new bed delivered today. Dude, let us know how it goes. Sleep stream? I think that's a thing. People do a sleep stream where they just record themselves while they're sleeping. I don't know if that's... I don't know why that's a thing, but I think it's a thing. So if you ever want to do that, I will tune in for like 5 minutes. I will donate something that is really, really loud and wakes you up. How about that? Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. Well, speaking about animals, I'm a little sad to report actually that my one animal, there was a cat that featured in some of the videos. Generally, she would perch on my chair right behind me or to the very right of my computer. We did lose her about 3 weeks ago. And so one of the nicest comments anybody ever gave for her was when we were doing the creature ranking video for all the different tiers of creatures. And they said, oh, it's a level 10 creature behind you. And I really, really appreciated that comment. And I told her that everybody loved her so much. And yeah, so good cat. Very sad to lose her, but she definitely was a level 10 creature. Doesn't matter which Heroes of Might and Magic you're playing. She was always an epic creature. Always. So sad to have lost her, but thanks. Sorry for your loss, man. Thanks, Obsessive. I appreciate it, man. I really do. So, but tell you what, am I going to be the guy that gets a new cat anytime soon? Not just yet. I'm going to have to wait for a good long time before I can be ready for another one. Elliot with tears in the chat. She was the best cat ever and she loved to sit on your chair. She did. Good kitty. Real good cat. And honestly, like, best cat I've ever had. And I've had some really good cats in my life. I've been like really, dare I say, blessed to have some awesome cats in my life. And somehow this was the very best animal I've ever had. So I don't feel like I'm sad she's gone, but I feel so glad that I got to have her, because like really super good cat. We're gonna take this town. Croto is kind of a nobody, but he's good enough to take this. Yeah, we're gonna just take this and camp out because it's day 5, and I think the enemy might be throwing in the towel a little bit. They might be throwing in the towel just a little bit, and that doesn't hurt my feelings too bad. I think that we're all picking up the vibes that this scenario is pretty much over. And we just need to really clean this up. When Castor is picking up spare dragons with his ultimate artifact, just for funsies, you know that things are going pretty darn well for us. Sorry, brother, just lost my cat too. Hope they're needing cookies in kitty heaven. That's the very best thing, and I'm all for it. Super for it. We will plan on them doing that. Hopefully they get to say hey. Hopefully they get to spend some quality time. So yeah. Yeah. Don't be sad that they're gone. Be sad that be happy that you got to have them for as long as you did. So, Maximus is going to defeat Jezebel right now. Bada bing, bada boom. I mean, this is a big fight, but we only lost one Titan. I don't think I can fight this fight any better. Tell you what, we're gonna watch this fight, but I'm not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna kind of go into auto mode here. I'm gonna turn on spell casting, see how much better the AI can do with the auto spell casting. I'm just gonna hit auto because I think I'm to the point where I'm just gonna start accepting wins. 10 bone dragons down to 6. Titans are taking the barrage damage from the castle's defenses. The Archmagi are firing again on those bone dragons. Everybody's going into a defensive position. Both the rocks and the red dragons are pulling back. Vampires across the battlefield, bone dragons across the battlefield. 32 of the liches. They picked up a nice damaging spell there. The blind coming out early on, and now what do we expect? Tough to say. 187 goblins are coming in the rear, but it's not going to be enough. With the good luck on the Titans, so many vampires are going down, and note that those are vampires, not vampire lords. And so with 10 vampires left, there's not much hope for these enemies. 10 vampires go down, 187 goblins, and 100 skeletons have to win the day. The goblins do get a nice hit off, but with only 100 goblins left, being taken out completely by the good luck of the rocks, it does not feel pretty good. Pause. I'm going to interrupt this just so I can take a quick peek here. Jezebel, by the way, 3 attack, 3 defense, 4 spell power, 1 knowledge. Weird to have 4 spell power and only 1 knowledge. Feels like you can hit hard once, and that's it. And that's not stupendous. Anyway, any thoughts of a hot seat stream with your pops or brother? I'll tell you what, I'm very sad. I'm a little sad. We did lose the one Titan, regardless of the spells. I need to re-record something with my dad, actually. I need to re-record it. We're going to pick up Craghack because he's a level 9 barbarian, because why not? Because I recorded something great. Yeah, the Lich got some good shots in. You're totally right. I did record something with my dad, and it's excellent, and I love every little bit of it. And I thought it was on my computer somewhere. In fact, I know it's on my computer somewhere. I might have deleted it before I got the chance to edit it, which is really a shame because I was looking forward to actually posting that on Father's Day, and for the life of me, I just can't find it, and it kind of makes me a little bit sick to my stomach because, you know, it's really something that, you know, I like my dad. Okay, I love my dad. You got me. I love my dad, and this is something that, you know, I mean, we get to share, we get to do together, because he likes Heroes, I like Heroes, and he's really a great strategist. And so it's always interesting to me to see, as we're going to accept these losses, I don't even care. Yeah, we're going to accept these losses, massive losses. It's always fun to see the way my dad thinks compared to me. And I do think that, number one, that's interesting to other people, number one. Number two, it's interesting to me to have gotten to kind of have him walk me through some stuff. So I'm looking forward to re-recording that video. It's going to be less of a head-to-head playthrough and more of him and I being in the same room physically, which we live fairly far away from each other. And so I can't just do it on the fly. It takes a little bit of time to make that happen. But looking very, very much forward to getting that out as soon as possible. There's a couple of videos I've been sitting on. I've got one FixFox shoutcast that I need to complete. And it's basically ready to go. I just need to finish off the actual commentary portion. But it's going to be from it's going to be from another YouTuber and streamer. It's going to be Winnie Maru. I'm saying that totally wrong because he's a French YouTuber and streamer. But I like his stuff. He does some very excellent stuff. I don't speak French, and so usually I watch his stuff with auto subtitles. But it's going to be one of his playthroughs of the map Pandemonium, where he really has worked hard to get the early part of the game down very, very well. And so I think it's going to make for a very interesting FixFox shoutcasts, and it's going to be done in a way where the video is more highly edited. And so that's editing has taken some time to make sure that I'm doing it justice. If I have some other person featured, I want to make sure I'm doing them justice. You could try searching by the file date. If the last save was on Father's Day, it was not actually. It was on a different day. It was done on the day that I was there last. In my folks' hometown. I went back for a time. So I will try searching for it again. I feel bad. We put a lot of effort into that, and it turned out so well. It turned out so good, and now it's gone. But I think that he's going to be very amiable to doing it again. So that's my plan. We'll do it again. And then, well, if nothing else, it's the memory that counts. Yeah, it does. And we'll get the opportunity to still do some fun stuff together. And I do want to play either some hot seat or some head-to-head or something with some family members, because again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I come from a good family of strategy players, and I think it's definitely worth an intriguing look. I think it's definitely worth a look. Okay, we're gonna have Brock go back into the snow just to waste some of these guys' spell points. Brock doesn't have anything, or not spell points, movement points. I want Atlas to go back into the snow, so he's further away. Proto is just kind of hanging out. He's not really doing anything. Flint is not really doing anything. This bad terrain actually is kind of messing with me. I'm not loving it. One Titan. We're gonna try and sneak probably to right here. Hope we don't get attacked, and then we can maybe bring up some additional Titans. Vesper, level 9, my word. The enemy of my enemy who used to be my enemy is now my friend. That's exactly how that saying goes. Don't quote me. Vesper's heading off to the north. Alamar's waiting. We'll see if we can consolidate troops. We're going to lose Barak. We're going to lose that castle. No, we don't lose the castle. What are you doing? Okay. Phineas is trying to survive. He will not succeed. 2 rocks. I'm not going to try and keep the enemy from running. Picking up the expert wisdom. Vesper continues to head north. Alamar, I think, has just enough time to get around. If we need to, we will just lose him. Flint is just going for an exploratory campaign. Gallant is back. Thundax has finally reared his ugly head. And it is ugly. Castor still wants to get this ultimate artifact to our primary hero. It's just increasingly difficult. Flint goes down. We win. Alamar wins with 1 Titan and 10 boars. Alamar wins. Interesting. Very interesting. We're just going to accept that. And if you didn't notice, Alamar actually had the chance to pick up necromancy, and so I let him just because it was for funsies, and now here we are. Okay. Alamar has actually been the low-key carrying this game. He's been involved in some very key moments, not as a heavy hitter, not as a primary player, not as the man, but in a very important supporting role. First Necro troops the entire game. Yep, those are them. Those are them. We are going to be able to reach Maximus pretty much, so we're going to put the shield up here instead of go back for dragons. But he's been low-key involved in some very key moments. Okay, but as you can see, 1 castle, 1, 2, 3 heroes. I think that this map is quickly coming to a close. Let's put the lid here. Alamar will give over the Titan and the boar. He's going to keep the skeletons, though. At least he's got some friends. And some orcs. Why not? Castor is going to get as close as he can as we pull back. Pick up our final artifact, and we're just going to call this good. We've got the leadership. I guess we don't need 2 badges of good morale. We'll leave a little bit of space open. And then as we deal with that, I anticipate that our other heroes are going to do just fine. So we're going to sleep. Alamar, Vesper's good to go. Castor's slept. And this should be the end. So it's currently month 3, week 3, day 6. And this playthrough is actually much quicker than in general. I say in general, it's quicker than the previous one was anyway. The other one was 5 hours, 5.5 hours, something a little more than I would like. I'm happy to do Heroes of Might and Magic, but I think that partway through a 5-hour playthrough, you can all start to see me start to struggle. Like, I love the game, but that doesn't mean that I don't need to sleep or eat or whatever. So occasionally it's nice to see me playing at my very, very best. And so that's what we're going to try and do as we finish up Whittingham here. And Blackridge. Blackridge tomorrow, Whittingham today. Oh, Whittingham is just, I got to walk in. 5 Cyclopes left. And then before we fight this final fight, 5 hours is a little more than your wife would like. Yeah, my dear sweet wife is very patient with me, but 5 hours is a little much. She likes to see me. She likes to spend time with me, and I really love my wife. So obsessive repulsive, LOL. Yeah, will strong, body weak. I read that in the voice of, if you have kids, or maybe you were a kid at the time, I don't know, Between the Lions, for any of the American audience who remembers Between the Lions from the PBS show, maybe one of my all-time favorite shows, just because of how good it was. There was Cliffhanger hanging from a cliff, and that's why he's called Cliffhanger, and he would always go, "Can't hold on much longer," and that's what obsessive repulsive's comment sounded like to me in my head. That's how I read it, and then I read it out loud as well. So but as we're continuing this, I heard it as Homer Simpson. Yeah, that's good too. That's good too. So here's what we got. We had Big Oak in the bottom right. We had Atlantium in the bottom left. Here's the thing. We didn't actually use these dragons. We didn't find sulfur soon enough to really spec into dragons in a quick enough time to really save us here. What really carried us was going all the way over to Big Oak and getting this castle and then building up to Titans. This didn't have Titans when we got it. I think it had up to the Cliff Nest. We had to get the mages. We had to get the Cloud Castle. But from there, we were able to use those high quality 6th tier creatures with the Titans to roll through these lower tier barbarian troops. The sorceresses didn't get built up much. The necromancers only really had one fight where the bone dragons were a factor at all. And so using those 6th tier creatures really won us the game here. And that was in large part for two reasons. Number one, what made this decision happen for us? It was all indicated that we were going to be up against barbarians primarily. And so that strategy felt like the right decision from the very beginning, number one. And then another thing is that we actually made great use of some spells. I don't think any of my heroes currently have the spell, but we picked up View Towns a couple of times here. Maximus has it now, but it was in this Shrine of the Third Circle, View Towns, in our starting area. And that information was massive. It helped us know that there's only one functional wizard castle at the time, and that made that strategy pop for us. If you ever wonder if these adventure map spells are any good, that's what that did for me in this instance. Those adventure map spells made it so I had the winning strategy from the very beginning. It's always tough to say I don't have a magic arrow or a bless or a stone skin. Your very first mage guild, I think you'd probably have those. You'd prefer to have those. But are they important? Are they not? I think that adventure map spells, when used correctly, are what separates good Heroes of Might and Magic players from great Heroes of Might and Magic players. I'm not saying I'm a great Heroes of Might and Magic player, but I'm pretty confident in my skills, and I think that's in part because I do what I just mentioned there. Okay, folks, this is the final fight. We do have in this corner Maximus the Knight, level 19. He's got the 4 Titans here, 2 dragons, and the 5 rocks. But backing that up, pretty meager army. We've got 18 attack skill, 16 defense, 6 spell power, 8 knowledge, in part courtesy because of the ultimate shield, which is 6/6, because of the +2, etc., etc., etc. By the way, you can always right click on these primary stats and it will tell you where the bonuses are. So we have +9 attack from artifacts. We have +8 defense from artifacts. We've got +2 spell power and +2 knowledge, both from artifacts. But this army, not very big. Thundax, very, very tough. His army, not better than mine. A glorious victory. And we're going to let the auto combat take this fight away as we wrap this up. I think I will do one more thing just because I think 4 hours is probably about the best time to go for this type of playthrough. And so we're going to do one more thing right after this. But finishing up this scenario, thoughts? Great scenario, great map, really like it, really enjoy it. And one of those maps that was recommended, and I'm very, very happy to play it. Again, in the future, I'm going to be getting the Discord up very, very soon. Look for the YouTube video that this is going to be posted to YouTube on. In the description of that YouTube video, I will have the link to the Discord, so that way you can have some more advanced warning on what we're going to be doing in the future. And that way we're going to try and just have a place. If you'd like to be part of a little community, I'd love to have you. I don't know. I like this game, and you guys are really fun to talk to. I'd like to keep talking to you. Sounds great to me. So we're going to have that in the description of the next video. And we'll have any other goodies or knickknacks, again, in the description of the upcoming video. I may even edit in a little bit of a section at the very, very beginning of this stream. I need to do some editing on this stream anyway. And so we'll have some of that information there. Glorious victory. Yellow player has been vanquished. This is going to be 80 days. Is 80 days good? I feel like 80 days is really good for this scenario. It feels like 80 days is actually really good. Score of 234, rating of a black dragon. I'm really happy with the way the scenario went. And you know what I'm waiting for? I am waiting to have a really, really bad scenario. I'm waiting to play a map that I just get rolled. I am waiting to have the worst day on stream, and I'm like, guys, if you're brand new, I'm really sorry that I suck, but today I suck. I'm waiting for the day that I completely fail and falter. The day is not today, but it's possible. So for now, though, that does make it into my top 10 scores. Rating of a black dragon, 234. So sounds like a good number to me. Keep waiting. It ain't going to happen. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Obsessive. I appreciate that. So good scenario there. And real quick, I do just want to show, I just want to share this. In my high scores, my top score is Pyramid at 22 days. I want to show you guys real quick what my basic strategy is for Pyramid, and then we're going to sign off on this stream. And the reason is someone asked me, hey, so I saw that you had Pyramid in 22 days. How did you get that? I'll just show you real quick. It's not that hard to replicate. It's not that hard to duplicate. And it's one of those maps that I think that a lot of people end up playing as it's kind of like a litmus test of a person's skill or ability. I'm just going to show you my basic strategy. Once you have a basic strategy, it's not overly tough, I think. It takes a certain strategy, but it's doable. Your opponents are allied against you, and each is twice as powerful as his predecessor. Is it possible to win on Expert? We're not going to play this map all the way through. I'm just going to show you the first little bit. We're going to play on Impossible difficulty. We're going to play as Barbarians. And why Barbarians? It's because we start off in the desert. That's pretty darn important. We have Thundax as a level 1. Let's see. We definitely do. Let me remember. We definitely do want the orcs. Definitely do want the goblins. And you immediately want to pick up this oasis after you drop the slow creatures off. Pick up the oasis, so the drink from the oasis fills your troops with strength and lifts their spirits. You can travel a bit further today. As we go through, we're going to pick up gold and the gold mine for 1,000 gold per day and this little bit of extra gold. Now I wonder, is that enough gold? It is not. There's times where you can get lucky on day 1, and generally to get the very best start, you will restart a couple of times. I'm just going to play it through as it is. But if you can get to 2,500 gold on day 1, you're waiting for a really good score. You should plan on having a really good score. We're going to hit intern here anyway. I just realized, nope, I messed this up. Hold on. Let me start over. Let me start over. When I'm cheesing a map, I suck. When I'm doing the map correctly, I do better. Okay. You go for the treasure chest first. 1,500 gold. Great. Hold on. How do I do this? No, you do need the one hero. There's some strategy I had to get 21 days. And now I'm it's happening. Obsessive Repulsive is happening right now. It's happening right now. I'm having officially a bad day on stream as of right this very second. Okay. All right. We're going to be fine. I think that you got to find a way to get 2,500 gold on day 1. Watching your brain melt down in real time. Exactly. That's what's happening here right now. 1,500 gold. How did I do this? Because there's a way that you can do this where you get 2 heroes on impossible difficulty, mind you, get gold, and get this treasure chest. Unless I'm crazy. I might be crazy. Okay, but you go on to the next day. And then we're going to pick up JoJosh the Barbarian, because why not? And it has to be JoJosh. It has to be at least one other Barbarian on day 2. Treasure chest first. Yeah, but then you don't get the gold mine, right? Rise to Ruin saying get the treasure chest first, because if you get this treasure chest first, you don't get all this gold, and so you're going to be 2,000 gold max. Wait, because you can't get 2,000 gold is the max gold you can get from a treasure chest, right? I take initial hero and rush straight to green, and that's pretty much what we're going to do. This is going to be the main hero, Jezebel. I think that from here we have 1,000 experience, and generally I think that on the best case scenarios you take JoJosh and you hope for 1,500 gold here. And if you get 1,500 gold here, then you have enough gold to buy another hero. Then you have 3 heroes worth of troops that get from here to here and here into green. Let's just see if we can get 1,500 gold. We got 1,000, and so the strategy doesn't work here, but then you get another hero that goes there. You go down here and you fight Aragon. And then you win that way. I think that's the strategy I remember, is you have 3 heroes that go bam, bam, and then you immediately beat Aragon. We're going to try this one more time, because I think that right now we're just getting a little bit unlucky with the gold. I say a little bit. I think it's actually like it's really low. I seem to remember having to restart a whole bunch of times. But for Rise to Ruin, if we take the treasure chest first, we're not going to get to 2,500 gold. So I think that we have to go here. And Elliot's saying, you're just rushing to green. And I do agree with that. We got to rush into green. 900 and 500 gold, so we're up to 1,400. Min-max on the RNG, you do have to really min-max. And I don't love min-maxing. I really don't, but you know, like if you're trying for like your absolute highest score, sometimes it's fun as an exercise just to see what you can or can't do. So 900 gold here, and we're short because we need 2,000 gold here. If we get 2,000 gold, then we continue. So we do. We get the 2,000 gold. Our one hero with 1 goblin is here. We pick up a 3rd hero. And when the fact that we start off with 4 barbarians is actually crazy. 21 and 5 or 18 and 3. No question, you take Thundax. And then you take all these troops plus the goblins. You head down. You might as well pick up the Oasis, because why not? Put over all these troops, and then all of a sudden, bam, on Pyramid on this very first or very second turn, you've got 3 heroes worth of troops. I think you do this split, and then Sabu attacks whoever's supposed to be right here. And you defeat Crag Hack basically in the very beginning. So that's my basic strategy to get a really good fast roll, because then from here you defeat Crag Hack pretty easily. 1-1, I think I'll just accept that. And then other heroes go into the desert, you pick up some stuff. But every single time you get the opportunity, you don't build towns, right? You just pick up towns and purchase new heroes, right? Like the troops that you get from the heroes are going to be more useful than anything else. This is a run killer right here, by the way. Elves right there is no-go, because even with sprites, you're going to lose. And going up this way isn't going to be very, very helpful. This would be a time where you would immediately restart. So that was just one of those instances where it's like, well, it's just kind of bad luck, because from here you pick up this castle, and then generally what I find is you're able to get up into the enemy's necromancer castle, and for some reason they leave bone dragons there. Like they just don't take the bone dragons, and then all of a sudden you have 2 bone dragons. Okay, so you take bone dragons right about here, and you go up the road to the very far right corner, and you take dragons before the end of week 1, because there's been a warlock castle to the upper right that has dragons. Is this sounding familiar to anybody? Like, I don't think that I'm the person that's like invented this strategy. Like, this seems like something that anybody could do. I'm not doing anything like special here, but like it feels like this seems to be the most appropriate strategy. And it reminds me of, actually, since Obsessive Repulsive is here, a strategy I saw him do on the Country Lords scenario for the Archibald campaign. I think it's like scenario 8, where you start off with no castle and there's a whole ton of resources to your immediate west. And he just ran straight for the enemy's castle and just took it and took all those troops. Does it work every time? Sometimes you might have to get a little bit lucky. It's not the way that I prefer to play heroes, because again, it's more min-maxy. Oh yeah, you remember. But I mean, if it works. We have 9,600 gold right now. We're going to purchase 2 heroes because these troops are going to be good. And thankfully, one of them is actually a sorceress. And that's going to be pretty useful. Get to the castle before the end of the week so you get the Crusaders. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So another sorceress. It's the only way to win as a worthless hero. I believe that. Gotta leave these slow dwarves. We're gonna go in this direction with Troyan. There's one more green hero over here somewhere. And then 13 sprites or 10 sprites, no question. We take Rebecca. Huh. This is actually going pretty quickly. At this point, I'm just playing. I wasn't planning on playing this much, actually, but now I'm just... This is how I play when I'm just going. Sabu is still the guy. Let him do his guy things. And you gotta split the sprites in this instance, I think. Because you gotta go here. I'll show you why in just a second, but you can't... You gotta go through these elves. I don't think you win. Oh, you do. Okay, we're just gonna continue then. Ignore everybody, try to pick up the dragons in just a moment. There should be some freebies here. Freebies here. Another 2,000 gold. We're gonna use that very quickly. Phineas. Anyway, you get it, but I'll see if we can get the necromancer troops or not. Nope. So we were too slow, and so purple actually picked up the bone dragons. I think that after you take this castle here, you have to have 2 movement points left because you have to walk 1 and 2 steps out of the way from this castle, just so you can purchase another hero on that day, take the troops, and then head north, hopefully through some troops that are not some sorceresses. Funny enough. Not the elves. The elves are just too much. But then you got this castle of Middlegate here. If they don't purchase the bone dragons, then you're golden. You take those troops, you head north. It's day 6 now, and you say, how do you possibly make it there by day 7? And the answer is really just that you hire heroes every single time you get to another castle. And then you use that hero's movement points to transfer the bulk of the army up faster than you ought to be able to, because these castles are all going to be fairly close to each other. It's probably a 2-3 day journey from here up to the northern castle up there, but it works. Anyway, so with this being said, folks, I'm not just saying this and doing this because it's fun for my ears. I'm doing it also because I want to issue you a challenge. Yes, anybody that can hear the sound of my voice, I would love for you guys to take the time to play Pyramid and do this in preparation. Yeah, in preparation for the next stream that we play. And we are going to play Pyramid on the upcoming stream, or maybe if it's not on stream because I don't think it's going to be as engaging, we will do it. I will do it just solo, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. But I would love for people to come prepared and say, hey, this is my best score on Pyramid. You've now seen my strategy. You know exactly how I do it. There's no more tricks in my bag. At this point, after you do this little bit, it's a bit of a slog and there's a lot of randomness and I can't possibly know what's going to happen. And so, you know my strategy. I want you to build upon that, expand upon it, and then I want you to take the time to make me a better and braver and brighter Heroes of Might and Magic 2 player. Tell me your secrets, tell me your tips, tell me what works for you. And then let's put our heads together and let's all figure out how do we beat Pyramid in the world record time. I don't know what the world record is, but it's got to be somewhere in like the 9-day mark. I think that I've got the smartest chat in the world, and I would love to get anybody's feedback on how we should defeat Pyramid together. But that's going to be another time, another day. Rise to Ruin sounds like he's in. He says sounds like fun. So there's at least one person in. I would love to hear from everybody within the sound of my voice. That's going to be the end of this stream today, though, folks. So again, if you don't know who I am, I've been doing my branding all completely wrong. My name is Fix Fox. I'm grateful for everybody that's been here. Thanks so much for the stream. There's been a whole ton of people that have taken the time to comment and be very, very supportive. I'm so very grateful for every single one of you. Bottom of my heart. Bottom of my heart. I'm grateful that I get the time to come over here to the library and do this because I have a lot of fun with it. And so I'm grateful for you guys. So grateful. Thanks for the stream. Happy to see you live on Twitch. Thanks, Obsessive. Great job, Dave Broski. Thanks for the stream. Back to Fix Fox Wife. Yep. I'll go back to her. We're not going to get in trouble at all. I appreciate that. So I'm going to start looking at getting a particular day that I will be streaming on Twitch. And the plan at this current juncture is on Wednesdays. That's tentative. There's some personal life things that are going on where we're going to see which day it's going to be, but there's going to be one day a week that I'm for sure going to have as my scheduled day that I stream. More information coming once I get the information, and that should make it easier for people to plan on being there if you can be there. Until the next video, take care of you, take care of your friends, take care of your family, and I consider each and every one of you as people that I care about. And so if you're having a hard time, I'd love to have you reach out. And I'd love to talk to you. But remember, if you don't look out for you, who will? Till I see you again, take really good care. Fix Fox out. Happy Freedom Birthday from the United States. Happy 4th of July. Nobody blow their fingers off with fireworks. Don't do it. It's not worth it. celebrate the 4th of July by burning down a very small part of the land that our forefathers gave us. Okay, all right. Take real good care. I'll see y'all real soon. FixedFox out.